Also, doesn't know if he wants to come back to play Harry Potter. Voltron may finally be hitting the screen. A sci-fi legend will be joining another fantastic sci-fi saga, and they're making a movie out of fucking way. Well, I have no idea. But here to talk about all those amazing things with me tonight are my good friends, as usual. For one, I don't know why his camera's up. I'll fix that. The first one, Lady Cora. How are you doing tonight, man?
I'm all right. Hope you're having a good day, and looking forward to talking about random shit. It'll be fun.
Yeah, they make movies out of anything these days, won't they?
Maybe they'll make a movie about wallpaper. It'll be very tantalizing and
Paint
exciting.
drying, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Day at Costco. Something like that, you know?
Yeah. Why not?
Earth-shatteringly interesting.
And the other one, my hetero life mate, Jeremy. What's going on, my brother?
Man, I'm glad I'm sitting here in the dark. Nobody can see me.
They can see you now. It's all fixed.
Oh, they can see me now. Oh, see me sitting here playing with that thing.
Like, as soon as you said that, it's going to pop right back on. So.
Damn. I wish I would have done something a little cooler to act like I did it on purpose. But this is live, and that's what you get.
It is.
So,
But listen, all kinds of crazy stuff going on in the world of entertainment over the last couple of weeks. The first thing, something that dropped last night that's not in the rundown, but we have to talk about it, is this Batman deleted scene that came out that was released by Matt Reeves, the director of the film. Jeremy, you saw it. I saw it. A whole lot of people have seen it. It's been all over Twitter, all over the internet for the last probably 12 hours or so. What did you think of that scene that shows Robert Pattinson's Batman having a discussion with the Joker that we saw in the film?
that was pretty cool. Kind of chilling. I liked his demeanor. I liked the way he looked. I mean, I feel like there's a way to do that correctly. Like, there's Jared Leto, and then there's this, and Heath Ledger. Like, they're over here. And this is how you actually make someone seem like they're genuinely like psychotic and insane. Yeah, he kind of gave me chills, and I like it's always that kind of classic trope of Batman's having to go to this guy for advice, or like, hey, so what do you think of this, or what would you do? All that jazz. It was pretty cool. I'm glad they kept it out of the movie, just left it as a little teaser, probably for the next movie. But still kind of cool to see after the fact, though. I mean, I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, my computer is doing all kinds of weird things right now. So if you guys have a problem with the stream, I apologize. It just got really odd. Hey, now I think it's kind of back to normal. Trying to get Jeremy's camera right for those of you who are staring at the thumbnail right now. But yeah, I thought it was really, really interesting. I mean, yeah. It kind of gave us this idea of what could be in the future. Because remember, we're getting a very young version of Batman and of Bruce Wayne. So there's still all the stuff that we've gotten from him prior to this, or that we've gotten from him in prior movies, both in like Tim Burton stuff and the Batfleck stuff and everything that we've gotten. It can all be retold just kind of in a much different way. I really like what they did with the Riddler in this. What they did with he's not Edward Nygma in the movie, but what they did with the Riddler character. So I'm kind of stoked as to what they can do with this.
Yeah.
But that little bitty scene that we got at the very end of the Batman, where the Riddler is having a discussion with who I can only assume, who we understand to be the Joker, who is already in Arkham, which I found a very interesting little plot point. He's already in Arkham, so he's already lost his damn mind. He's already done some crazy shit. It's very interesting to think that he's already going to kind of be on that path before we actually get to see him do any dirt. You know what I mean?
That's the Joker there, man. Jeez.
Sorry, I'm trying to vamp a little bit while I fix your camera.
Oh, it's all good.
Hey,
I could bullshit about Batman for another 10, 15 minutes.
I'll say this. I haven't seen the Batman movie yet, and I watched that clip, and it makes me want to see the movie. I really, and also the review you guys gave. So yeah. I'm really looking forward to it being available out of the theater so I can watch it as soon as it is.
I would say let that But that kind of that's kind of the vibe of the movie, man.
It's good. I was surprised.
I was gonna say that. I'm like, if that doesn't make you want to watch the movie, I don't know what does.
It did.
Yeah,
that's the first thought I had, and I think I put it in our Twitter thing. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, they were right. I should have gone and see this in the theaters.
Well,
I want to see it now.
You're not gonna have to wait too long. I think it's gonna come out on HBO Max here in about 3 weeks. Sometime late next month. It's supposed to hit HBO Max.
Well, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and look, it's done good money. It hit 300 million domestically over the weekend, I think, and worldwide, I don't know exactly what it's done. But yeah, I mean, it's probably not going to break $1 billion, but I mean, honestly, it's been fairly successful. I mean, considering that the theater industry, the box office, still trying to, it's going to take a couple years for things to kind of mellow back out after everything they dealt with the pandemic. But I don't think it was a bad showing at all, and they were smart enough to actually release it in theaters exclusively, not day and date on HBO Max. So it's got legs. I mean, I think the average drop off for a movie like this from opening weekend to the second weekend is usually something in the range of like 65 or 70% of its box office from the first week. It will drop off. This one only dropped about 50%, which isn't terrible for a movie like this. Because I mean, if you look at something like Endgame. Avengers Endgame, when that movie came out, it did like $1 billion its opening weekend, and they had something like a 75 or 80% drop off to the second weekend.
Oh wow!
Everybody who wanted to see it rushed to the theater in that first weekend to go see it, and then they just didn't go back for the second weekend. The second weekend was just kind of like the casual people, or whatever. So yeah, the fact that it's done really well from week to week, and it's made, like I said, I think it said 300 million domestically. I think it's done something like 600 million total worldwide. And it's still got another. I mean, I don't really see any real competition in the box office for the next week or two that I know off the top of my head. Well, until Morbius. Until Morbius comes out next week or a week after next, whatever it is. So it's gonna have the theater to itself for another couple of weeks, and the word of mouth for this thing has been really, really good. So a lot of people are going to check it out. I really want to go back for a second viewing, but I don't know if I'll get out there before it actually hits HBO Max. But yeah, it's that scene was really telling. I'm kind of happy they didn't put it in the movie though.
Yeah.
Because I like that little taste of Joker at the end. We don't know how he got there. We don't know. Are they going to give him an origin story like they've tried to do in the past? Are they just going to let him be evil and not really explain why? It was cool to have that little taste of it. But I'm glad it didn't end up in the movie. I'm glad they gave us the Joker the way they did at the very end. Just a little taste of what's to come. But
if this is a bigger bite of what's to come, not just a taste, I mean, I'm in.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be getting a little bit more news about what's coming on the Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson Batman front at some point pretty soon. Because I mean, the movie's been a success, so I would imagine a sequel. They're probably already putting storylines together for a sequel. So yeah, but that was a really cool thing. You guys gonna? I know Variety. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I know Variety tweeted it out. I think Matt Reeves put it out on his personal Twitter. So you can go on the internet and find it. I'm sure it's probably all over YouTube by now. So when you get done watching us talking all our shit about movies tonight, go check out that scene. It's actually pretty badass. But I think it's a good time to move on to our first topic of the day. Lady Cora, exactly what is that?
West Side Story will be a serious contender for many of the top prizes on Oscar night next week, but it looks like its star Rachel Zegler would not be on hand to support it. In the comments of a recent Instagram post highlighting the actress's past 3 months, a fan asked her what she planned on wearing to the Oscars. Her droll response, quote, "I'm not invited, says sweatpants and my boyfriend's flannel," end quote. Angry fans quickly flooded the comments expressing dismay that the breakout star was not invited to the ceremony. While Zegler is not nominated for anything, the film received 7 nominations, including Best Picture. But fear not, movie fans. The Academy had a change of heart and has added Zegler to the list of presenters. Frank, is this a big deal or is it an overreaction?
It's about 10% big deal and it's about 90% overreaction. I mean, the reality is it's not uncommon for people who have been nominated for awards, even some of the bigger awards. It's not uncommon for them maybe not to make it to the Academy Awards.
But to not be invited is different, isn't that?
Well,
I mean,
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
I mean, it's happened several times where people have won a Best Actor or Best Director, one of the various awards, especially one of the 5 big ones, and they have to give one of these pre-recorded speeches because they're off. Usually what happens is they're off on the set filming something else, and they couldn't work into the filming schedule for them to fly all the way back to to LA for all the rubbing of elbows with all the other Hollywood elitists. So ultimately, I think it's really not that big a deal. The problem here is the Academy has not had a lot of good press lately. From all the stuff, I mean, let's face it, the ratings for the Academy Awards have been in the toilet for most of the last 15 years. Just nobody watches anymore. So they're trying to find these different ways to kind of revamp it, and they keep doing things that are really, really dumb and don't help their own cause. And this is just one of the many things that they've done that they just didn't really think all the way through. Now, yeah, this movie has been nominated for, I think it's got a total of like either 6 or 8 total nominations for various things. I know Spielberg got nominated, I believe. All he has to do is like smile on camera and he gets nominated for Best Picture anymore. Or Best
Shows
Director.
up.
Yeah. West Side Story has been nominated for Best Picture. And it's got like cinematography, I think it's got a nomination, things like that. But it's not uncommon for all the people that were in the movie, at least the primary cast, to show up. The fact that she didn't even get an invite is odd. And what makes it even odder to me is that she reached out to the Academy and said, hey, was it an oversight? Can I come? I'd like to come hang out and support my castmates in this film as they vie for, as we all kind of vie for these awards together. And they said no. They flat out told her no. I'm sure they used different wording than that. They made it sound a bit more polite.
And it could have been somebody who was a nobody who told her no, that didn't really know what they were doing.
Well, the thing is the Academy has made some really dumb decisions. This is just another in a long line. Is it a big deal? In and of itself, no. But this doesn't make the Academy look very good. I mean, all the stuff they've been through the last, month or so about not airing on its live telecast certain awards. They're going to give those away kind of on the side or before or whatever. And people are getting pissed off about that, which I really don't think is a big deal. That's something the Oscars have done for as long as I've been watching. They've always had a few that were kind of given away off camera before the show, and they show the quick little clips, kind of like they kind of sprinkle them in over the telecast of this person getting an award for best makeup or this person getting an award for best hairstylist or whatever. Some of the ones that a lot of people, that most casual fans don't really care about. In the industry, they care about them, but the fans generally don't. So I mean, it's just a bad look for the Oscars, especially when she reached out to you and very humbly said, "Hey, I'd like to come. Can I come and hang out with my crew?" And they're like, "Nah." Like, no, we didn't send you an invite for a reason. Just go away. That to me is just not a good look. But they did end up, after I think a lot of the backlash had started to get a lot of press, they did end up righting the wrong and ended up making her a presenter, therefore giving her an invite to the Oscars. But my biggest problem in all this is that they have people like Tony Hawk, Kelly Slater, and Shaun White attending the Oscars this year. They're not actors. They're entertainers, sure. I mean, Tony Hawk has always kind of bridged the gap between entertainer and skater. Kelly Slater has not really. I mean, he's been in some movies. For those of you who don't know, Kelly Slater is one of the greatest surfers that has ever lived. I grew up watching a lot of Kelly Slater when I was a kid, but he's not really ever been in the entertainment industry. Why is he getting an invite and she's not? Shaun White, sure, he's kind of bridged the gap between entertainer and athlete as well, but he's not really an entertainer. Why are these guys getting invites? Why are these people taking up space when the person who is the lead actress of the film that was nominated for Best Director and Best Picture is getting snubbed for an invite? Yes, she didn't get nominated for Best Actress, whatever. She's not even upset about that. She doesn't care. Didn't get an invite at all when you're letting a bunch of other people who don't really have that big of a role in the entertainment industry take up space. I don't get it. And they bring their plus ones. They're bringing their wives, husbands, significant others, entourage. I mean, they get to bring people with them too, which take up space. I don't get it. It's just not a good look for the Academy, in my opinion. Jeremy, what do you think?
Yeah, it's. I was gonna say it's one thing to, like, like when she initially went to them and reached out to him and said, "Hey, is something wrong here? Did somebody forget to call me? What happened?" I'm like, it's one thing to maybe forget, but then I'm like, then the next thing is she did reach out to them, and then they came back and said no. I'm like, okay, that's kind of like strike two. Like, what gives? Yeah, and I'd understand if it was somebody, it was background dancer number 3. I don't care.
Yeah.
But it's the lead fucking actress of this movie. I'm like, you'd think even so, like you said, she doesn't care if she wasn't not nominated for anything. I'm like, but you want to be there and support your fellow cast members, actors, all that jazz. I'm like, because you don't want to be like, well, we can't make memes about Leonardo DiCaprio anymore because he just didn't show up to Titanic that one time, and damn, that plagued him for like the next 30 years or 20 years, whatever. Never got an Oscar for that, and it's like they just kind of, as the joke grew, that they just like that meme, and I took that personally. Like, I don't know. It just been. I'm sure it's what she was meaning. Like, oh, it's just nice to still be here with everybody. But as the internet has shown time and again, that's a pretty loud voice, and it's things that seem to make sense like that. It's like, hey guys, what the hell gives? And they're like, oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, you can come. Yeah, cool. Bring your boyfriend, leave the flannel at home, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, none of this looks good for the Academy. Cora, what do you think?
I was muted. Sorry. I honestly think it's just a blip, and kudos to her for not blasting a post saying "F you, Academy, for not inviting me." She just kind of, low key responded to someone asking her. So respect to that for being classy about it. And I really just don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, how many people work on a movie? Look at the credits, how long it takes. Can you imagine if for every Best Picture they invited everybody who's on those credits? It wouldn't.
At least the main cast, though. I mean, I'm like,
I don't know. Maybe it just was an oversight. It could have been a complete oversight, and then she called and talked to a random secretary, and just checked a list and said, "Yeah, you're not on the list."
Who are you? Get out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lot of degrees of separation, though, because we're not talking about the best boy grip. Somebody who just kind of like
that's what I mean
along the track.
Okay,
I'm saying like if
this is the lead of the movie, the lead actress.
Yeah, this is like if Batman went up there and then they didn't invite Zoe Kravitz. It's like, what? They invited Robert Pattinson. What gives? They wouldn't make sense.
Okay. Well, like
That's
you
what I'm
said
saying.
at the beginning, Frank, the Academy's gotten a lot of bad press, and maybe they just got some fuck faces who aren't keeping the ship running well. I don't know, but
and like
I'm
said,
sure after this they'll be more careful.
I don't.
Maybe.
Like I said, I think this is mostly overreaction. I think some fans got pissed. They started a little bit of a fan campaign in support of an actress that they like, that they enjoyed in the film, and that's fine. So I think it's mostly overreaction, but it's not a good look for the Academy.
It shouldn't have had to been if that was the case. That they're like, oh yeah, you can come. My bad.
That's the part that gets me, though. It's like she calls them and says, "Hey, what's the deal?" They've just been like, "You know what? You're right. You probably should have."
Sorry.
But instead they were like, "No."
Right.
It's like, what do you mean no? It's like, why?
That's a little different.
I mean, do you know how many people, how many big names weren't nominated this year that still got invites, even though they didn't even make a movie in this Oscar season?
Right.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I mean,
so why can't she have a seat if they do?
If Meryl Streep 3 years off didn't make a damn film, she would still get an invite to the Oscars every year.
She's a winner. I mean, that's different.
Well, she is a Hall of Famer. I get it, and I mean, this is this girl's breakout role, but still, the point remains. That's what I'm saying. That's your lead of a movie, man. Like,
well, and furthermore,
kind of makes sense.
As if Meryl Streep or somebody like her didn't get nominated, and then she called the Academy. She's like, "Hey, I want to go to the awards this year." They're going to be like, "We're gonna hand deliver you your embroidered fucking calligraphy solid gold invitation in the next 10 minutes." The whole thing, I don't know. Like I said, it's mostly overreaction, but it's just not a good look for the Academy, and they've been struggling the last several years on a lot of different levels. But this doesn't help. It just doesn't help at all. But I mean, I'm glad the girl's going to get there. I'm glad she's going to be a presenter. I'm glad she's going to get some time up there on the stage, because I haven't watched West Side Story yet. There's still, I think, 3 of the Oscar nominees for Best Picture that I have to watch before we do our thing. And that's one of them. I've been putting it off because I can get to it easily. It's on Disney Plus for those of you who haven't seen it.
Well, no, the movie hasn't been out for the last 4 years.
The movie's been out for a while, but
yeah, we know what happens.
I'm like, I saw the original a bunch of times, so this is gonna be it's just gonna be a primer for me. But
I've seen the original. Yeah,
mostly overreaction, but again, just not a good look for the Academy, which is trying to do a lot of things to kind of reshape its image moving into the future. But then again, it makes more sense that's why you have people like Tony Hawk, Kelly Slater, and Shaun White, as you're trying to attract this younger audience that has never really watched the Oscars. I mean, I know
Well,
I know some people that are your age, Jeremy, that have never ever watched the Oscars.
well, I was gonna say there's
Really?
probably let's say no one under 20 probably even knows who the hell Tony Hawk or Shaun White is. That's,
Well, Tony Hawk, they probably do. Shaun White, they probably
maybe.
do.
I'm
But
just
but,
saying.
but I mean, Kelly Slater, I mean, surfing's a pretty particular sport. And I know that name because I grew up on a beach down in California, and I knew a lot of surfers, and I watched a lot of stuff. Kelly Slater was a big name. But
Yeah.
but I mean, you're trying to go after this younger set of fans because the 90-year-olds that used to watch the Oscars all the way back, that remember watching it back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s throughout the good years, they're watching it now and they're like, this isn't even the show that we used to watch. And even some of them are probably falling off. So they're trying to go after the younger crowd because they figure those are the ones that are going to be around for a while. And it's not working very well. And Rachel just said in the chat, I've never watched the Oscars. You're probably not the only one. I used to watch them all the time when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then about the time
Everybody in my family would sit down and we get popcorn and we watch it together.
Yeah. And you're right, I haven't either. It's not really something I would just jump to go watch. I don't know. I kind of maybe the problem with me is I'm like, oh well, there's the internet. I'll find out like a fucking hour after it happened. Boom. Hey, this one got a cool. I don't know. Maybe that's just kind of because that's how things are. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Yeah, bottom line is they righted the wrong. That's a good thing. We'll probably talk more about the Oscars here in the next coming weeks. But
Yeah,
right
we're gonna
now,
get all dressy and shit. Do our thing.
I should tux up for our Oscar thing.
Oh, I'm gonna wear. I don't have like a tux, but I can wear. I got you.
We have Tux t-shirts on Amazon.
Ooh, I have to order one of those.
Former emo child. Of course, I have those.
But before we move on to any of our next stories, I do want to remind you guys, we do have a Patreon. And for supporting us for just $5 a month, you get a chance to win $25 in free movie tickets that we give away once a month, usually in the middle of the month. And the reason why we do that is because we want to promote you guys to go back to the movie theater. The pandemic hit the movie theater industry very, very hard. And while the production companies have managed to survive it, the people that were working at the theaters, people that work at the concession stand, the managers there, the box office, those people took a really, really bad hit during the pandemic. And now that we're getting ever so just inches closer every day to the end of this whole pandemic thing, the movie release schedules are starting to level off again. People are going out. I want to promote you guys to go see movies in the theater, to enjoy the theater experience once again, because we didn't get much of a chance to enjoy it for the last couple of years. So by supporting us for just $5 a month, you get a chance to win $25 in free movie tickets to the movie theater of your choice that we give away every month on one of our Thursday shows. So support us on Patreon. We would appreciate it very much if you did. And Lady Cora, what is the next topic we're talking about tonight?
Well, Harry Potter fans, perk your ears up. Daniel Radcliffe may have just reunited with fellow Harry Potter alums for an HBO Max retrospective special, but he's not interested in returning to his Potter role just yet, should there be an adaptation of the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child stage play. During an interview with The Hollywood Reporter about the 20th anniversary of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, oh my god, I feel old. I feel old,
dude, man.
old.
I grew up with this damn series. Like
Director, I was taking my friend's daughter to the bookstores, late night release parties.
Yeah, we were doing that too.
Oh no!
It's great that the last movie came out the year I graduated. It kind of feels it's nice.
I'm sorry, Frank. I just hit
Oh,
me
you're good.
20 years. Basically, okay, but where was I? 20th anniversary, blah blah blah. Director Chris Columbus said he'd be interested in returning to the Potter world to direct a Cursed Child film. Described the prospect of seeing Radcliffe, Rupert Grint, and Emma Watson together on the screen again as, quote, cinematic bliss. However, Radcliffe said he's hesitant to return to the wizarding world in an interview with the New York Times, saying, starring in a Cursed Child adaptation is, quote, not something I'm really interested in doing right now, end quote. Jeremy, do you think Radcliffe will come back to work some magic, or is he done?
See, I don't know. I get what he's trying to say. I mean, that's, basically he grew up with these two other actors. This was his whole thing, So if that's your thing that you're known for, you can break away. He has done that. And I think the thing I saw that he said, he's like, yeah, I've done a pretty good job of, separating myself from Potter. And if I went back, it would just kind of be a big change to my life. I'm like, right, but that doesn't mean, but on the flip side, it doesn't mean you can't do it. I mean, we haven't reached the 30-year mark yet, so maybe then he'll do it. And he'd probably be about the right age for this adaptation. It's not like Harrison Ford didn't come back to be Rick Deckard. He didn't come back to be Indiana Jones, to be Han Solo. It's not like you can't go back to a character that you're, known for being. Maybe it's just too soon. Maybe that's what is. I'm not like completely upset. I don't know. I'm a little disappointed, but I'm not really like upset because I'm like, maybe some magic little money might change your mind. I don't know.
I'm sure for the right price, you would probably be like, well, maybe I could pop back in for one more movie.
Maybe.
Look, I get him not wanting to go back right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look, one of the hardest things about being especially a child actor, is getting typecast. It's kind of a death sentence for some actors because you only get seen doing one kind of thing. So when you try to branch out and do something else, people tend to not like you. Not because you weren't good at it necessarily, just because it's such a departure from what you normally do. I mean, look at what's his name, Zac Efron. He got offered the role in that god awful Footloose shot for shot remake that came out a couple years back. And he flat out said, no, I don't want to be known as the dancing kid. I want to do other things. And he went off and did things like the Charlie St. Cloud and things where he actually had to try acting and was not just that young kid that was dancing and singing all the time.
Not just the pretty boy.
Not just the pretty boy that dances and sings all the time. And it's helped him a lot. Now, look what Daniel Radcliffe did once he was done with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Once they finished that whole series and it was done. He runs right to a stage play called Equius. And I don't know if you guys remember some of the reason why this made news at the time. It was a very, very adult production. There was a lot of sexual overtones, a lot of very adult themes in this stage play, and a lot of people were shocked at that. And some people were even kind of turned off to him a little bit. But I kind of understood. I'm like, dude, you've got to spread your wings. You can't be the boy wizard your entire life because there's only so many of those movies you can make before people are like, another Harry Potter movie, really? And so I get it, but then he's gone on and he's done a lot of things that kind of show his range as an actor. He was in the second the movie about the magicians. God damn it, why am I drawing a blank? Can You See Me Now? Is that the name of the movie? He was in the second one of those, kind of the villain. He's kind of playing the villain in this movie that's coming up, the Lost whatever it is.
City.
Yeah, the Lost City with Channing
Tatum
and Sandra Bullock. He did one movie that didn't get a lot of press, but I thought he was really good in, where he played an undercover FBI agent who was trying to bust some white supremacist or KKK cell that was going to pull some kind of a terrorist act. And that movie went completely under the radar, but I thought he was really good in it.
He also was in that little anthology series with Steve Buscemi. What's it called? It's like American Horror Story, where it's the same group of actors, but each season is they're a different set of characters all in the same world.
Like the thing he did that with the Fargo. I did that with Fargo.
Yeah. God, what the hell is it called? It was the first season was it was a joke that if heaven were run like a cubicle office type thing, Steve Buscemi played God and Daniel Radcliffe was an angel that granted.
Oh, I heard about that show.
Yeah,
I never saw it.
Yeah, he worked in the dingy little basement, doing people's wishes and stuff. And then the next season it was something completely different. They were the same cast, but they were all different people, having different lives, but still those people. So, it bugged the hell out of me. I don't remember what it was. I saw that and thought it was pretty fun.
And he also did Swiss Army Man. He played a dead body and was good.
Hey, if you can do that, I mean.
So yeah, I mean, I get him not wanting to go back to it right now, but look, let's be honest. He's going to eventually. He just wants a little more separation. I think what it is, and I'm kind of speaking for him here. I don't really mean to. This is just my take on it. Is that he wants to feel comfortable with where he's at as an actor before he steps back into the wizarding world and says, okay, I'm going to throw the wand around again and Avada Kedavra some fools and do this Harry Potter thing. But before I do that, I want to make sure that I have established myself the way I want to be as an actor doing all these other things. And
or maybe he's like Michael C. Hall from Dexter. He was literally waiting for some good fucking material to come out that he actually wanted to act.
Yeah.
Maybe he's waiting for J.K. Rowling to write another trilogy set of movies about him maybe being the headmaster of Hogwarts, or who knows. He's waiting for the material to be present for him to actually show interest.
Yeah.
Or he's maybe waiting for J.K. Rowling to quit being such a twat.
I didn't know she was, but okay.
Well, no,
Oh, you don't know. Oh, you didn't look into that, did you? Did you watch that HBO special they did with?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch it.
It is. Even if I saw this literally maybe an hour before I actually watched it because I wanted to see it, I would have noticed this either way, and it's still just as fucking hilarious. They barely show her in this, and they even put in the corner real small that they had to make a point that, oh, this was recorded in like 2019.
Yeah.
And this all happened like this year. Oh, and it's almost like they can't wait to just get out of her fucking scene, like move on. Fuck her. Nope.
I thought that whole thing was not very well handled, but whatever. I mean,
well, she doesn't handle certain topics very well, so I'll just leave it at that.
Well,
it was like they did it all in the beginning too. They just shot their whole wad of, well, not even a wad. It was like a pathetic little. There she is against the wall, and then it just moved on. I mean, overall, it didn't really distract from it too much. But it was like Tony Stark. Like, you'd think I wouldn't notice, but I did. Like, I noticed that you tried to still put her in there, but yeah, we don't really want to hear your opinion in any of the last like couple of years or whatever.
Well,
it was still a cool reunion. It was nice. It was nice to see them all together again.
Well, that's one of the things that gets me thinking about this. Is I look, one of these days he's going to go back. Like I said, one of these days he's going to feel comfortable doing it, and he's going to say, you know what, maybe I do want to do something where I get to show Harry in his 40s doing whatever Harry Potter's doing after Voldemort's been vanquished. Whatever problem comes up again in the wizarding world that they need Harry Potter to deal with. That's fine. And I think Rupert Grint would probably come back and do it as well.
Yeah.
And he's done some things. I know he's done a lot of TV stuff, like in England. He did do a couple of smaller movies and stuff. He reunited with a couple of people from the Harry Potter days and do some smaller independent stuff. He would probably come back. The question is Emma Watson. She's pretty much... I mean, the impression that I got from her while I was watching this thing is that she really liked doing it, but she's glad it's in the past. It was
yeah.
And if it was a one-off,
she liked doing it. She said she liked doing it, even though it was really stressful. But she's like, I'm glad it's in the past. I'm glad to be done with it. And all the impressions I've gotten from her in other interviews and other things that she said, you know, in various times that she's been on camera and whatever, is that she's not really all that into going back and doing the Hermione Granger thing again.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder, can you? I mean, you can have just Harry come back by himself. But if it's just Harry coming back by himself, that's fine. But if you're going to bring two of them back, you kind of have to bring three of them back, because then the chemistry seems odd. You know what I mean? I'm sure they could find a way to make it work. Again, it would all come down to the writing, which is something I say all the time. But ultimately, I don't know if you could bring two of them back and not all three. So I think a lot of it might come down to Emma Watson, whether she wants to come back and do Hermione again.
If it's a one-off, I bet they could get all three.
Yeah, knowing that it's not going to be, you know, like you said, this wasn't, it was just one more kind of, you know.
And if they're all friends, don't you think they might have a pact where, like, we either all go back or none of us go back?
Well, money does a lot of weird things to people. It's like,
true.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that, and this is just me talking again for them, I'm pretty sure that Rupert Grint and Daniel Radcliffe wouldn't be too upset with her if she was just like, you guys go back and do some more magical stuff, I'm just going to fucking watch it when it comes out in theaters. If she didn't want to come back, it wouldn't be a big deal to them. They could still do it. But I think the chemistry between the three carrying this entire franchise of, 8 movies or something like that?
Yeah.
Not including the stuff
Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, the Fantastic Beasts movies.
Yeah.
But I think the chemistry of those three kind of is one of the things that really carries the film. Or carries the entire franchise. So not having one of them there could kind of throw that off a little bit. Again, a lot of it would depend on the story, depend on the writing. But I don't know. I don't know. My thoughts is he's going back at some point. He's just waiting for it to work well for him at a personal level, rather than just say, she wrote this thing, I'm going to go ahead and be in the movie because it's going to make, $600-700 million. It's going to make me a cool $25 million paycheck, and people are going to love me as Harry Potter again. And I don't think he really needs that, so I don't think he's in a rush. And I'm kind of fine with that. Because, for one, I haven't read The Cursed Child. I've seen the book, they've put it's actually written as a play, not as a book. And they've put the play in novel form, the actual script, of the play in novel form, and I haven't had a chance to read it because I'm just not much of a reader these days. But I've heard it's very good. And a lot of like the real hardcore Potterheads are like, I really want to see this in movie form. I really want to see live action. I really want to see all these people come back and do this. But you know, these people have all moved on. They've all started careers for themselves. They've all done some things to kind of pull them away from this. So I don't know. It'll happen eventually. I'm confident it'll happen eventually.
It probably just feels too easy. You'd be like, oh well, yeah. I mean, I know I could go back because like I'm Harry Potter. I could. That would be like the safest thing you could do. I'm like, but then you wouldn't, because then it'd be like, well, what else could you do? I know what you're saying, but like, yeah, you want to have a little more of a gap there of like, okay, I've done some other stuff for myself. I don't want to just, keep having to fall back on Harry Potter, because then it's like, well, what else can you do? Like everyone's gonna look at you like, yeah, you're the boy who lived. Congrats.
Yeah, but I think it's going to happen eventually. But you guys tell us in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think. When do you think he's going to come back to play Harry Potter again? Do you think he's going to come back to play Harry Potter again? And when do you think that will be? Go down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think. And Lady Cora, what is the next topic we're talking about tonight?
Well, some silliness that will bring us all back to our childhood, even years before Harry Potter age. Emily V. Gordon has a playful new gig lined up. According to Deadline, 42-year-old Oscar-nominated screenwriter is working on an animated, are you ready for it, boys? Play-doh feature film for E1 and Hasbro. I did say Play-doh. Director Sean M. Chu, whose recent films include In the Heights and Crazy Rich Asians, is producing the film. In a statement, Gordon and Chu said, the team looks forward to bringing the audience up. Oh, I can't believe this.
You gonna get through this? You okay?
A moldable, pliable, iconically scented story about the importance of imagination. Frank, do you think they will sculpt a decent film out of Play-Doh? For fuck's sake.
I get really annoyed by I get really annoyed by people that are like, there's no more originality in Hollywood. It's everything's a superhero movie or Star Wars or some bullshit or a remake. And I'm like, dude, pay attention to what's going on at your fucking theater. Actually go to the app for your nearby theater, look at the listings. You'll see a bunch of really good original stuff in there. You just don't go see it. And then some shit like this comes along. And I'm like, this is the original content I want people to go see. I'm like, oh, come on. Look, for one, people behind this are the people that made some really cool movies like Crazy Rich Asians, which is a really big hit. The girl actually wrote the Big Sick, which was loosely kind of based on her own experiences, things like that. And so, I mean, the creative minds behind it are certainly there, but I'm like, really? It's like, I kind of wonder what this is going to be, because a lot of
or do you wonder if one of their kids said, I want a Play-Doh movie?
You'd be surprised how many movies have come to fruition like that. I mean, the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder in '71. That came about because God, who was it? One of the producers and directors, I forget. One of their kid brought the book to them and said, "Hey, you should make a movie out of this." And ended up making that movie, and now it's a classic.
Or they ordered something random on Amazon, not knowing what it was, and said, "Whatever's in this box, we're going to make a movie about it." And they opened it. It's Play-Doh.
Yeah.
The reason why Johnny Depp kept doing the Pirates movies is because I think it was his son said like, "Hey, if you want to keep seeing these movies, I'll keep doing it." And I'm like, "Okay, that's cool, but." Maybe put your foot down, Johnny, after the third one.
Now, a lot of people are trying to compare this to the Lego movie. Because I remember you guys probably remember when the Lego movies first got announced, people were like, how the hell do you make a movie out of Legos? Legos are just blocks you put together.
Well, that's easier.
Yeah, but they're not going to do Play-Doh Batman.
That's my point. Is the Lego movies, they aren't about Legos.
No, they're
about these other
content.
stories. They're about these other stories. They're just, instead of having actors out there doing it, the actors are the Legos. They use this animation to make Legos. Yeah. So I'm wondering, are we going to get Play-Doh Star Wars? Are we going to get Play-Doh Batman? Are we going to get Play-Doh Jurassic Park? Or any of the other things that the Lego movies have used as the storytelling vehicle to just put Legos in the movie. Because if that's the case, that's going to be kind of disappointing.
Well,
even more disappointing than the concept of even a Play-Doh movie altogether. That's going to be kind of disappointing because it's not really going to be different. It's just going to be claymation. And that kind of stuff's been dead for about the last 30 years. Because claymation was huge back in like the 90s, 80s and 90s.
It is, yeah.
But it's not
Wallace
really...
and Gromit was the last time I
Yes.
enjoyed claymation.
Well, Chicken Run, that was a good fucking movie. Don't sleep on that shit.
But yeah, is this just gonna be like Lego Batman, but instead of Lego, it's gonna be Play-Doh Batman, Play-Doh Jurassic Park, Play-Doh this, Play-Doh that.
Here's the thing though about the I see where the comparison is between Play-Doh and Lego. It's like, yes, I get it. For the importance of having imagination. That's the whole point of Lego. It's like you build stuff. You just let your imagination run wild. Kind of same thing with Play-Doh. It's the same. You can mold, sculpt, mix stuff, do whatever the hell you want.
They might as well just make a documentary about the history of it.
Well, but here's my point though. I'm like, I get that, but the difference with that is there isn't like you can make a Lego movie because I'm like, when you have certain characters that are there, like you have Harry Potter, you have Star Wars, you have Batman, that's easier to make a thing into. And then you made your original characters with what was it, what's his name, Emmett and Wild Style. I'm like, yeah, you can make original characters out of it, and it can be carried on with all these other Lego sets because you can be like, oh, haha, I know that's the Avengers, that's Harry Potter,
what they
this,
could
I'm
do?
like, well, what is this? This is literally just it's Play-Doh.
All the rights for Lord of the Rings were up for sale recently. Maybe Lord of the Rings Play-Doh is in our future.
That's what I mean. Is I'm like, I don't know what you're gonna.
I couldn't help it.
Maybe it's a bigger slate that you can play around with. I just don't know what kind of movies it's gonna be. Is this like for kids? Is this for I don't know, someone who like me who's 30 and I would still open up a thing and just give a big fucking whiff of it, like just to have a feeling of childhood. I don't know.
I have a feeling based on this quote that it's not going to be like what we got from Legos. I said, the team looks forward to bringing the audience a moldable, pliable, iconically scented story about the importance of imagination. I have a feeling this is going to be way, way, way kid-oriented. That it's not going to be what we got from the Lego stuff. That they're actually going to try to make this a long-form version of something like, I don't know, whatever the hell they put on PBS these days.
At least it's respectable.
But if they're doing that, that's fine, if that's what it's going to be. But if they're going to try to market it as some big blockbuster when really all it's going to be is some goofy kid shit, I don't know that makes any sense to me.
Well, we made a movie out of fucking an app game with a fucking Angry Birds. So
I never saw it. I played the game once for 5 minutes. Wait. I don't get it.
Because this is the other thing I was like, wait, my train of thought came back when you shared this story to us. I'm like, well, we made a thing out of Angry Birds. I'm like, yeah, I guess kind of giving you have a platform to, I was gonna say Slingshot, haha, off from. I haven't played the game either, didn't see the movie, but my other thing is I'm like, we made a damn movie about the fucking emojis. So does this really seem like that much of a stretch? Now, granted,
really great point, Jeremy.
That was the first two things I thought of. I'm like, we made something out of Angry Birds. I'm surprised we didn't make like a cinematic universe with Flappy Bird as well. Whatever. But then I'm like, we made one out of emojis for fuck's sake. Like, now the most hilarious thing is, making Sir Patrick Stewart the poop emoji. That's just funny. That's the funniest thing you could possibly do. But that's really the only chuckle you'd probably get out of me because I have more self-respect for myself. I didn't see that movie either because. Well, wish I had a poop emoji right there. And just have him to be like, make it show. I don't know. That would have been funny. I don't know.
Something else I read today along these lines, since I think it plays directly into this topic. You know what other movie they're actually working on now?
Oh, God, I don't think I can take anymore.
Are you sitting down, Jeremy? You're sitting down.
I am sitting down.
A Baby Shark movie.
My God.
I read today they're working on that too, and I was like, my God.
I know it's a song.
I get
dance craze on app.
I get that it's a thing.
Or whatever.
I get that it's a thing. Just because kids sing it does not mean... Fuck, if they start doing shit from like, hey, let's do like TikTok the movie with the trends and the dances that all the cool kids do. No, let's not. Let's make a Let's
look,
cater to the adult.
Talk is reminding us that they made Battleship a movie as well.
That's true. That's true.
That had almost
But again,
nothing to do with
that
Battleship.
has a premise though that you could build off of. You're like, yeah, you get two battling, warships. You could make something out of that. But I'm like, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. What if they made a movie about pop figures in boxes?
That's
they
coming,
hop around in boxes.
I mean, yeah, because you could animate when you have plenty to choose from.
I've already
and they die if the box opens. So they're fighting to keep their boxes sealed.
I was gonna go see that movie like 5 times.
I've already read there is a pop figure movie that's been in the works.
No, I was just bullshitting.
No. But that could be fun because you could pick from any one of these and make it you can make a joke. You could have fucking, I don't know, Dark Magician girl there talking to goddamn Alex Trebek. I don't fucking know. Stupid shit like that. It's just funny.
Are you serious, Frank?
I'm serious.
Oh no.
I'm more excited about that than Corey is, I know for sure.
Well, I mean, look again. It all comes down to the writing and the story. You can make it.
What makes money, as you remind us so often.
Yeah, that's where the real magic happens. I mean, so the Play-doh is going to be a tool to deliver you the story. My question is I would imagine they don't want to just go the same route as the Lego movie and just say, we're going to have Play-doh Jurassic Park, Play-doh this thing. But we're not just going to mix the Play-doh, no pun intended. We're not just going to mix the Play-doh in with this other storyline or these other characters that already exist and tell their story in Play-doh form. I feel like they're going to try to actually design an original story and have it acted out in Play-doh. And to me, that sounds like a kid movie. That sounds like something you should do for PBS.
Also, is this?
Agreed.
I mean, just on the other side of this, is this also maybe gonna possibly boost some sales for Play-doh? Because you're like, oh yeah, I used to do that. Oh, that shit's fun.
I mean, Play-Doh's never really gone anywhere. I mean, every kid plays with Play-Doh at some point. But
yeah, I'm not. I'm saying that's a positive thing. I'm like, maybe that'll also be a thing for sales. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is you better come up with a really good story.
That's what I'm saying.
Because if the story's not
Promise me you will not spend money to pay for this at the theater, Frank.
You know what? It's going to depend.
Of all the movies, there has to be one that we've talked about that you're like, fuck no, I will not pay any money to see this. Please let it be this one.
If the first trailer comes out and the trailer is fucking fire... hey...
I want to talk about that Play-Doh trailer.
I'm begging you not to go see it. I just want there to be some movie out there that you're willing to skip the theater for.
I will shit on the idea now out of hand because it sounds silly. But and this is what I hope everybody does. It's like you can hear an idea for a movie and think that sucks or that's great or whatever you think. But the trailers are what really sells. So if they come out with the first trailer and the first trailer is freaking awesome, then... Maybe I wouldn't go see it for.
You are hopeless.
I wouldn't go see it just for fun. I'd probably take my kids to go see it. But it's like, but if that first trailer comes out and I'm like, holy shit, they actually did something that looks pretty wild here. I'd be like, all right, kids, get in the car. We're gonna go see the Play-Doh.
Oh yeah, but when they made the trailer for Jurassic World, I'm like, oh my god, Ian Malcolm's coming back. And I walked out there like, what the fuck? No, he didn't. So to be fair, you don't necessarily know that that's gonna be.
I'm gonna give up on the idea that there's a movie out there that you would commit to not wasting your money on the theater. You are a theater man.
Oh, there's plenty.
You're willing to keep an open mind about seeing a movie about Play-Doh in the theater and paying for it.
I know.
I'm judging, just saying.
You know what? I was shitting on the Sonic stuff too, and I like the Sonic trailers.
Again,
I've shit on a lot of movies, and I'm just like, this doesn't sound like a good concept. And then the movie stuff, and then the trailers come out, and I'm like, well, trailers. What is it? The Power Rangers. I have never been a fan of the Power Rangers. I just thought it was
because you didn't grow up in the '90s.
And then I was in high school in the '90s. I had a lot of friends in high school that liked the Power Rangers, but I was like, it's just not my thing. Yeah. But the trailer for that first movie that came out a few years back with Elizabeth Banks and stuff in it. And that trailer was pretty awesome, so I went and saw that movie. And the movie actually wasn't half bad. The third act kind of falls off the rails and goes to shit. But I mean, the movie wasn't terrible, and the trailers were fucking awesome. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'll give it a shot.
Well,
You're a man of the theater. That's just how it is.
I have
Good, bad, or ugly.
a guarded optimism. I'll just say it like that.
I know
When it comes to movies, I have a guarded optimism.
I know what Frank's thinking too, because he saw this interview, or not interview, but the thing, that man right there, you probably can't. Yeah, that man right there, Kevin Smith. All I'm seeing in my head is that when he was talking about making that movie Tusk, and he's like, basically when I put that out on Twitter and said like, yeah, do you hashtag yes, hashtag no, do you want this? He's like, it was overwhelmingly hashtag yes. Like, I fucking dare you to make this movie.
Walrus,
like,
yes, walrus, no. that's what he put on Twitter.
Yeah, because then he's like, basically everyone was like, I fucking dare you to make this movie. I'm like, that's how I feel too. I'm like, good, I want to, it's in your court. I want to see what you do with this.
Like I said, the creative minds behind all this, I mean, that you can't shit on them. And not only that, but they're actually working on the Dungeons and Dragons things that Paramount's going to be releasing in March of next year. And that's got Chris Pine in it, and a lot of people in the industry are kind of like, this thing sounds pretty hot, sounds pretty awesome. So I mean, hopefully,
Dungeons and Dragons isn't so nerdy anymore now. It's getting beat up in the hallway.
The year we get a trailer for that. If that trailer is awesome, because I'm not a big D&D fan, never have been.
Oh, I am.
The D&D cartoons and stuff back in the 80s, early 90s.
Isn't that a card game?
Yeah, but it's been a lot of different forms for a long time now. I was never into the card game, but the cartoons and they had an
tabletop.
They had an animated movie. They did the tabletop stuff, but they had an animated movie that came out in the late 80s, I think, that I thought was pretty cool. But
I love that. I love doing that shit. It's there was one. I have a weird, vivid memory of watching this movie. I wasn't aware that it was a D&D movie. I actually have it now from that friend. For some reason, he just wanted to give it. I was like, dude, do you remember that? We watched it at your birthday party. It was like a choose your own adventure movie, and it's like, in that time, I thought like, whoa, this is a wild looking movie. I'm like, yeah, but seeing graphics I've seen now, it's like, oh, this. If you've seen the Barbie movies like from back in the day, it's that animation where it's kind of, exactly. It's like inherently creepy. It's like slightly off. It's animated like that. However, I thought it was cool.
I don't know what to say.
It's seriously, it's a specific, if you know what I mean, if I say it's the Barbie movie animation.
Yes,
it looks like that.
I do.
So take that for what it is, but yeah, it was a choose your own adventure movie, and it was cool. It was a D&D thing, you know. And of course, we're dicks. We're all like, what, 12, 13 years old. We're like, hey, let's see if we can kill the whole party as fast as we can. And I think I actually did it. We went around the room and picked whenever it made us choose. I think I actually killed them the quickest, like on the second decision. It was nuts. They killed like the whole party, and they told the little one like, "Yeah, go tell, whoever what happened here." And they scare her off, and I was like, "Ha!" It's like 6 different endings. It's kind of an interesting movie. So it can be done. There's a lot you could do with that. I mean,
there is also a Barbie movie they're working on right now as well. I think we talked about that, didn't we?
What?
God,
you haven't heard about? Maybe we didn't talk about this.
I don't think we did.
No, it's got the girl who plays Harley Quinn.
Margot Robbie?
Yeah, Margot Robbie's gonna be in there. Dude, it's got a bunch of big names attached to it. And that movie's happening apparently. I don't know.
I'm not. I hope you're not going to see that in the theater.
Hey, you know what? You show me an awesome kick-ass trailer. I might give you a watch. I don't know. It all comes down to the trailers. You give me a kick-ass fire trailer, I might give your movie a watch.
I'll say this: you are the most devoted avid theater movie watching fan I've ever met in my life.
That's why we're all here.
It's not a jab.
I love the theater experience. There are even bad movies I've seen in theaters. And I'm like, seeing it in the theater is so much better. This is so much better than theaters. But
I watch bad movies on purpose too. Like
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah,
but
fun time.
I don't know. I guess there's plenty to say about a Play-doh based movie. So I mean. Yeah, the Heist is right. The Gem movie, The Gem and the Holograms. I mean, that movie was terrible. I watched about 10 minutes of that movie, and I was like, no, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. But, I don't know. Go down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think. A Play-Doh movie.
And would you, and let us know, would you pay to see it in the theater?
With any luck, I can reach out to a friend in the movie theater. Because I have a couple friends that work at the 2 theaters that I go to most often. One is the Rave in Huber. And the other one is the Regal. It's right here by my house. And I may just have to reach out to them and be like, hey, I don't know if I want to pay for this movie. Is there any way you can kind of walk me in the exit for like the 8 o'clock showing? Just in case. So that way, about 20 minutes into the movie, if I can't handle it, I'll just go ahead and sneak out the back door. And it was like I was never here. But, I don't know. Go down in the comments and let us know what you guys think. Do you think Play-Doh is a good basis for a movie. What kind of a story do you think they can give us? I would imagine there's going to be a lot of voice talent involved in this too. So maybe that's what this is. We're just gonna do a Play-doh whatever, and we're gonna get Chris Pine. We're gonna get
John
Nick
Hamm.
Cage. We're gonna get John Hamm. We're gonna get fucking Robert Downey Jr. We're just gonna get a bunch of big names to do the voices, and that's how we're gonna sell this thing.
There we go.
But anyway, go down the comments.
He's rocking to a voice. He's got a unique voice.
Let us know what you guys think.
Kevin Hart.
And before we move on, we have another Jeremy unboxing. Jeremy, what are you unboxing today?
Well, this should come as no shock. What 80% of my background is. So
it's Barbies. He's got Barbie dolls in the box.
Wouldn't that be the most ironic thing if there was like a pop figure of Barbie? That'd be kind of funny. That would be some meta type. Yeah.
Yeah, a Barbie made of Play-doh in a pop box. Thanks
for advertising Moon Knight for me. That's okay. Cool. Anywho. So I guess in light of, this is a movie entertainment type channel.
Mm-hmm.
Put that back. I'm gonna save that. That's kind of awesome. But I know this is Frank still here?
I think he stepped away, so you're stuck with me.
Okay. Well, I thought I heard him say he was gonna go somewhere. Well, I don't want to miss that. I mean, I always make this big lead up and then just be like, boom. Like I have this real convoluted way of saying, and then here it is.
Is this something you ordered online, or you went to a store and found it?
I actually went to a store and bought this. Either way.
Woohoo!
Yeah. I mean,
just for getting out in the world.
Yeah, it's not like I don't, have a job where I just never stopped working and had to constantly keep going out. So literally nothing changed. I still every damn day. It doesn't matter.
You and I have very opposite lives, but that's okay.
No, I know. Like I said, that's what happened with Rachel. Hers just came to a complete stop, and she's been working from home just ever since. And I'm like, yeah,
can come in handy working from home when you have a dog and whatever.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure they like monitor you a little. Like they know, like, okay, you got to be working. You got to. It's just not like what I have. Like there's a production that you got to meet. Like I get it. But I don't know. It's cool. It's kind of a weird. I love that the world kind of got into a corner like this, and I'm like, yeah, now we really see which jobs you can and can't actually just do remotely. This is gonna be a real funny.
What can we live without? What can't we?
Yeah, kind of funny how we figured that out real quick, didn't we?
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I love your shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
Very cool Ghostbuster shirt.
We actually, while we were in the store, we were actually pretty close to Frank just 2 hours ago, because we were up there where he said like that cinema is right by the mall.
Mm-hmm.
There, my buddy Brady that was in here doing the Falcon with me, he asked me, "Did you see the Ecto 1 Ghostbusters Lego set of the car?" And I was like,
"No."
Oh, it's. I've seen one of my friends build it, and it's pretty awesome. And I'm like, it's funny, I'm wearing this shirt today, and I actually did get to see it in the store. I mean, it looks pretty sweet. Cool. As I mentioned, we may or may not, after this thing is done, it's again right up against my knee. There might be another. That'll be another big unboxing once that gets in here. It'll be another. We can do a quick one-off on this other set, but that's not what we're doing. So. Oh my god. They had some spicy ass food at the mall too. I wasn't ready for that. Whew. I didn't know. We never went there, so I didn't know it was gonna be like that unbearably hot. As for the girl, he had it laid out. It was like, these two are green, these two are like red, like as the sauces go up. And I was like, oh, this green. I was like, it's the second choice. I'm like, oh, it's a garlic sauce. So some like chicken. It was like rice, corn, chicken, like some lettuce, cheese, and like I said, like some grilled chicken. And I was like, garlic sauce, that sounds kind of cool. And that was so fucking hot. Oh my god, it was spicy. Jesus. It was good, but like
I don't do spicy well. I got a story for you. So I was down in Mexico as a teenager with a church group. We were building houses for people. And the family, we'd stop for lunch, and we'd all been packing lunches in to the job sites. The family whose house we were building a house for came by the site, and they brought a jar of pickled vegetables. There were onions, carrots, and like other vegetables in the jar, right? And they were trying, and we're trying to be kind and say thank you for giving something to us. And I hate spicy food. I can't do spicy food. Well, these were pickled with some type of jalapeno something water or something, right? So I'm trying to chew on this, I chose the carrot thinking it would be less spicy, like a dumbass, thinking it's all in the same jar.
Yeah, when it marinates.
Right. And so I bite into this carrot and oh no, my mouth literally, my mouth had never been so on fire before. And I'm in the middle of a job site. There's no milk or, maybe some water. And we just poured the foundation. Okay. Just poured the foundation. Very wet. Nothing set. I literally ran across the foundation on the boards. In one spot, my foot went through and it was just set like slightly enough that the impression from my shoe stayed. And I lost my shoe. And the family and everybody from both job sites all watched this. I was very, I was so beet red and embarrassed, and everybody thought it was so funny. And the family, the translator told us, they want you to leave that shoe hole because it'll remind them of how funny this American lady was. I was so embarrassed. But yeah.
Nice.
Spicy food is not my game. And so I have to be careful with that shit. So
yeah.
Here's your funny story about being spicy food.
Yeah, I've got like stomach problems, acid reflux, shit like that. So my body doesn't like spicy food. I don't mind it, but I don't mind it, but I mind it. So it's fun. But the trick is to not stop. Like I kept eating it, and I'm like, okay, but if I stop, it's gonna get bad. So I kept going, and then like Rachel has them like fries, so I'm like, okay, some starch, some bread will help. I had like a pop. I pulled out a piece of the ice, put it in my mouth. I got to stop pretty quick, but man, it was good. But Jesus, I'm feeling it now. Anyway, I'm glad Frank's back. We basically BS that entire. I don't want you to miss it.
I was just letting you guys go. You guys were killing it.
No, I know. I don't want to just be like, oh, here it is, boom. Okay, because you came back, and I'm like, well, I don't want you to miss this. This is very movie related. This is a pretty awesome.
A Barbie made out of Play-doh in a pop box.
We're just gonna. That's the multiverse of this whole thing.
Hey, you know what? If the trailer's awesome, whatever.
Oh my god. Anyway,
a trailer goes a long, long way. Trailers are important in movies. No joke.
No.
Poor Jeremy. He's like, okay, I'm ready to do it now. Shut up.
Well, no. He's right. Speaking of trailers, this is, like I said, this is a entertainment show. We talk about stuff, and I know this is a line of pops, and actually this is number 4. Holy, it was not exclusive, but damn, Kevin Smith is actually number 37 in this line, which is really wild. This is number 4. If anyone knows what the numbers mean, that's close to the beginning.
I don't know what it means.
I actually didn't. To be fair, I didn't know until recently. The number in the corner, it'll say pop, and then it'll say like what line it's in underneath. So you'd be like, what, video games, directors. It could just be movies, television.
There's a code.
Yeah, that's what if you look at the top, and then it'll say what line it's from, and then the number in the corner means something. It means it's that number of whatever that line is. So like I'm saying, this is
a collection or a series or something.
Yeah, so like this is pop figure directors.
Batch.
I only have Kevin Smith. I actually got another director, and I couldn't pass this one up. This is number 4 in the line, which is really wild because he's 37. Which is nuts. But you can't deny this motherfucker can direct a movie.
From Key and Peele, the TV show?
Hell yeah.
I didn't even know he was a director.
Oh, dude, hell yeah. He's done a lot of horror movies, man. He did the...
that's why I don't know, Jeremy.
Well, okay, fair enough. Here, maybe not quite so... Well, I guess kind of...
Funny, he's a comedian.
Oh, yeah. And he does the... It's a reboot of Twilight Zone. He's the host in place of Rod Sterling. So, no, it's like I said. Don't ever say there's not original stories to be told, or that you make some good movies out of some original material. Like this man right here is a shining example of that. So, I couldn't
Cool.
I couldn't pass up Jordan Peele. This is pretty sick.
He shoots a lot of
Nice.
movies in my hometown.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love it. So I got 2 directors now: Kevin Smith and Jordan Peele. If you guys make a Christopher Nolan one for just whatever reason, I will buy that in a heartbeat. Why there's not like a Spielberg one or something, or a George Lucas? Yeah. I'm gonna look that up now. That was it. I'm gonna look this up now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's an underwhelming, send off. I'm sorry. I'm gonna look that up now.
Well, while you're looking that up, I do want to shout out the chat real quick. I've gotten out of the habit of doing this for a long time. I want to start doing it again. Talk that talk, get a news and opinion. My man Heistman Defoe was the first one in the chat. What's up, my brother? We'll actually be live with him on Friday doing like a simulcast thing with Derailed. It'll be fun to finally get on a show with Heist, be able to hang out with him and Preem and Charlene. That's going to be fun. Grim Tuesday, Jeremy's in there. What's up, my man? He's on the call, of course. His mom,
Right
BJ.
here.
Hello, BJ. It's always good to see you here. Casey is raw. Here trying to poach my subs. Go figure. That's what Casey does. Who else is in here? Federico Garza. What's going on, my man? Who else is in here? Is BJ?
I wonder if Casey heard us suggesting him being a voice in the Play-doh movie.
Maybe he could be the Grouch. He's all mad and stinks. But Rachel, what's going on with you, Rachel? Yeah, so thanks to everybody who's in here hanging out with us. As always, you guys are much appreciated to give us your time. But before we move on, and while Jeremy's still looking that up, that we do have a Discord server. We'll get to you just like a second. Hold on a second.
No, go ahead.
We do have the Discord server up, and I still do not have a graphic for that, but I will have to get one eventually. That's where the music talk never stops. I mean, I go on there. I've been trying to put the links to the show, my different thoughts, short thoughts about different things that I've been watching and reading and things like that. So go down in there, hang out in the Discord. The link is in the description below of all the videos. Go in there, just talk movies all the time. Again, we are very spoilery in there, so if you're trying to avoid spoilers, then you might want to try to avoid some of the stuff that we talk about until you've actually seen the movies or TV shows that we're talking about. But that's where the movie talk never stops. A lot of really cool people in there. Me, Jeremy, Cora, a bunch of other people from the community are in there talking movies. Come join us. We can have that party, that movie party, all the time, 24/7.
It's
Jeremy,
not a
what were you gonna
cult.
say? It's not a cult, I promise. You can come and go as you please.
Yeah,
No
we're
weird
not there
sex
yet.
stuff. It's all cool.
Yeah.
I only say that because I was watching a random YouTube video of this group who are trying to do this like private campground thing. Anyways, and evidently because they want to be a private property, save a lot of money on insurance and not be open to the public. People are accusing them of being a cult. And they're like, we're doing it to save money. We're not a cult. They said this like 7 times in a row on the video. So I had to use it sometime in the show today. So yeah, here we go.
So I just looked up like pop figure directors. The first one that comes up actually is Guillermo del Toro. And it's actually kind of funny because his number in the corner is 666. That's hilarious. There's a, that's awesome. I love these ones that are in like black and white because like they're from that era of movies. Like there's a black and white Marilyn Monroe one with like she's holding the dress down. I'm like that one was very tempting. And I might still get that. This one is in black and white. It's an Alfred Hitchcock. He's holding a clapboard. That one's really cool.
Ooh, I want that one.
That one is very cool. It's a little more expensive, but like it's totally worth it. Trust me, that one is cool. There's a Spike Lee in a purple suit and purple glasses. Kevin Smith. I have that one. Ava DuVernay, J.J. Abrams, kind of figures. Vince Gilligan, Patty Jenkins. That's cool. There's Hitchcock again. That's not one. Jason. Ooh, this is Jason Blum. Don't tell me that. That's another one of my favorites.
Nice.
Yeah, that one's still cheap.
Rachel, get some ideas for gifts.
Trust me, if you do. I think we talked about that once. I was like, yeah, pop figure. This is a pretty good way to go for me. She's like, I don't know if I really quite know. I don't really have like some sort of set pattern. I kind of do. It's just like stuff that I like or something. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I need to have that. Like, I got Peter Gibbons from Office Space because, of course, I do. Wow.
I feel like you trying to buy her lipstick and trying to get the right shade, knowing she. Yeah.
I could actually probably do that though. That's the weird.
Really?
But see, obviously, I'm not One Eye Willie again this week, so. When she asked, and the doctor asked, I know I'm still keeping up this mystery. Did I do something, or was it for the costume? And I'm very obviously I did something. When she gave me, told me to put the stuff in my eye to make it feel better. She asked me in the office, like, do you know how like girls put on eyeliner? I was like, actually, yes, I do. I work in a haunted house. Trust me. I actually do that. I wear the eyeliner around it, and then I put the black to make it look a little more. Actually, more like that. It's a pop figure of me right there.
You could always do a wish list of hot figures.
True, I could. I don't know. I might. I took, like I said, I took a bunch of screenshots from that whatever site I saw on like Facebook. They had a whole bunch of them.
His wish list would be 3 words long. All of them.
Yeah, I took out a.
Like me with Dooney and Burke bags. I'll take one from every style in my favorite color. Thank you.
I'll take 2 of each. I'll open some. I'll open some and play with them. The rest of them are going on the shelf as collector's items.
Well, yeah, like I have 2 Patrick Batemans now because one I bought and I didn't know they had a Chase variant, which has the more rare one with the blood splatter on them. I was like,
I will admit this. I would love to have the Golden Girls set.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Me too. I've been thinking about buying that one for a while.
That one would be really cool. I don't know. If
I would take them out of
the.
the boxes and put them on a shelf.
Yes, Rachel, but it's not like I don't know how to do it. I'm a big boy. Making fun of me.
I know how to put my own makeup on. I don't need you, Rachel.
I've been doing this shit for like 10 years. I didn't do that until like the last year, but it's still. Because otherwise I just threw blood on myself. I don't really.
Hi, Rachel. Buttercup.
I'm getting bigger horns as a joke because like I had like the horns that came out to like here-ish. See, I got to here.
If you need to compensate, that's not our business.
No, there is a joke with that, but no, it's not on me. Trust me. I'm gonna get little bigger ones. Like they kind of grew out. They're like they kind of come up and they curl out a little bit. They look pretty cool. No, there's a guy that wears them. Like they were like way too big. They're falling the fuck forward. I'm like, dude, and you also need to stop. He was wearing. I'm not against it. He was wearing like leggings, like tights. That's fine.
Like Batman and Robin leggings.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Leaves nothing to the imagination. But the problem
basically yoga pants for men.
Well, it's funny you say that because that's where I'm going. There is this man. He's late 40s. There's a girl that works there. I think she's gonna be 19 this year. She has the same exact ones. I'm like, little weird. But okay. Moving on. I don't even think the fact that he's like trying to be a pro wrestler is like it really excuses it. I don't know. Whatever. It's a whole thing. I wear jeans and boots like a normal devil. I don't know.
Heist, I'm gonna find you a Kunta Kinte pop figure because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want one too. I want the LeVar Burton one from the Roots series from the 70s though.
Ooh.
That's the best Kunta Kinte.
Is there a Reading Rainbow one? Because I would buy that.
I literally was like, Reading Rainbow.
There would have to be. There's probably.
Oh my god, I'm gonna look it up right now.
There has to be. There has to be.
LeVar Burton Reading Rainbow pop figure. I don't know that there is.
We'll find it. That's my mission for the next couple of days. Before we go live,
You have a Mr. Rogers, a Bob Ross one, but
with that one, you get
Bob. Oh, I have Bob Ross.
See, I'm a painter now. See all this? That's me.
That's true. I was there when you did that one.
They have a Dr. Seuss one of the guy who actually wrote the books.
Nice.
The Jim Henson one has a little Kermit in his hands.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's why I like.
God, that's adorable.
I like the trilogy of wholesomeness right there. I've got Bob Ross, Steve Irwin, and Mr. Rogers right next to each other. Like Bob's got.
Did you put a Stingray underneath? Did you get a Stingray and put it underneath a Steve Irwin box?
I'm going to find you and I'm going to smack you for that comment. Steve Irwin has a crocodile and Mr. Rogers has a puppet on his hand. I was trying to be wholesome and you had to go there with that.
There should be a Stingray underneath his box. I'm gonna find you a rubber Stingray and and send it to Rachel and have her stick it under the box.
Same age as me. No.
Yes, Rachel will help me.
Blasphemy.
You won't actually have to open the box. You just stick it underneath the box.
You know who else sucks? PETA. You don't try to attack Steve Irwin on his birthday, 6 years after he died.
Classless.
That same energy.
Classless. Damn it. Classless.
I know. Oh, and the internet ripped your ass apart for that.
Let's get everything back on track now, shall we? Lady Cora, what's the next story we're talking about tonight?
Yeah, where did we go?
We're talking about Jeremy's horns. Oh wait, sorry, we already did that.
Like I don't make that joke fucking every night down there. I look at some
Okay.
girl, I'm like, I know why you're here. I can fucking smell it.
Okay.
You're nasty.
All right. Where is he going? This actor won't need roads, but a hyperdrive might help. Christopher Lloyd is adding another iconic sci-fi franchise to his storied career. Back to the Future actor is on the call sheet for The Mandalorian, the Disney Plus Star Wars show that is currently filming its third season in Southern California. Character details for his role are being kept locked in the trunk of a DeLorean, but it has been described as a guest star starring role in nature. Jeremy, how excited are you to see Lloyd in The Mandalorian?
If I can spell in this chat, hold on.
I know, I think it's awesome that he's putting himself out there at his age.
In space.
And he will pull in fans. Let me put it this way. I'm such a big fan of Back to the Future that I'm still on episode 4 of The Mandalorian in season 1 and haven't finished season 1, let alone watch season 2. If he's in season 3, I will get caught up just to watch him.
Well, it's not like it's not a bad show, even, him not being there. That's like...
No, it's not that. It's just the priority.
No, I'm not saying that,
like, what do I watch?
We had to show her the Joker to make her watch Batman, for fuck's sake. Now we gotta put Doc Brown in this thing.
Yes.
Like I was gonna say, like it's not already a great show. I mean, like this just gets better. I mean, why not? This is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to point out, I looked up at Frank's thing and I'm like, oh my god, we're on the same wavelength. We did the same thing almost. He put "this is the way, Marty," and I'm like, Grace Scott Mando, like the same. That's hilarious. That is actually funny.
Earlier.
Oh, I noticed that too, and I was like so happy. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get that story to point that out. That's amazing. Yeah, I mean the amount of memes. My God, there's him flying with fucking Grogu. He looks over, he's like, oh my God, a man in a DeLorean. And he's looking over, he's like, great Scott, a Mandalorian. I'm like, God damn it. I think I showed you guys that one. Like he's like, after I woke up from hitting my head in the toilet, I drew this, and it's the picture of the Mando's helmet. Oh my God, we're just not gonna stop. What would he be like? I don't know. Like I want it to be like maybe slightly kind of just like eccentric and wacky, not too much, not because he can do both good or bad. Like he can be wacky Doc Brown, but he can also be like wacky but terrifying Judge Doom and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You know what I mean? Like, whew. So I don't know. That's kind of fun. I like it.
I feel like he's probably just going to kind of bookend the season. Like, he'll be in, like, one of the first 2 episodes, maybe even both the first 2 episodes in kind of a limited fashion. And then we won't see him again until probably the last episode of the season.
That'll be the...
He'll probably have... The way... I don't know, maybe this is just in my mind's eye, the theater of the mind, as I put it together the way I would like to do it. That he's that person... He kind of plays a different version of Doc Brown, is that he is kind of that,
that's what I mean.
that offset to Mandalorian at just the right times. Maybe not for the entire season. Certainly not to the point that he was for the Marty McFly character in Back to the Future. But he's some kind of a foil to help Din Djarin kind of figure out where he needs to be and what he needs to be doing just at the right time. So my expectations are that probably not too unlike what we saw from oh damn it, why am I drawing a blank in the name? The actor I like, so Timothy Oliphant's character. How he's kind of like in there early and then doesn't really come back again until late in the season. Probably something like that. So he might be significant for the first episode or 2, and then we won't see him for most of the season. And then, like in the last episode, he'll pop up in some small way, kind of as just remember I was here? Remember I was in this? Oh,
so it'll be like the Book of Christopher Lloyd. That's what it'll be.
Something like that, yeah.
Boba Fett. He'll be there for a second and gone and come back.
The fun thing to me is going to be, now they said pretty clearly in this, it's going to be more of a guest starring thing. So it's going to be a glorified cameo. He's not going to be a primary character in this season. So he'll pop in, like I said, first couple episodes, he'll be in there, he'll say some things, he'll set Mando down his path. Wouldn't it be cool if he played an old Jedi? Ooh.
I thought about that. I was like, what? My first thought was, wait, what if he's a Jedi? that would, like, when I started thinking that question to myself, I'm like, what would he be? And my mind immediately went to that. I'm like, oh, if he's like an old Jedi that like survived this whole time.
That'd be kind of cool. But But the interesting thing to me is going to be his dialogue. Like in some small way, if he utters the words "Great Scott."
Oh, you understand? I'm going to be scanning every damn scene. If I see so much as a Mr. Fusion somewhere in the background, or a flux capacitor, or if I see a damn DeLorean somewhere, I'm gonna lose my mind. Come on, just make a joke somewhere, put an Easter egg in the background, just to give us that.
I think they will. They're pretty good about these kind of things when they do that.
That's gonna be so cool.
But yeah, if he says either "Great Scott" or "This is pretty heavy," if he says either of those two lines, I'm gonna be like, okay, I understand why you had him in this. That would make it all totally work.
Oh, he'll have something like covered up, and it looks very obviously like a DeLorean. I'm like, okay, you working on something under there? You got a permit for that?
Yeah, he's
some sensitive equipment.
He's gonna put a Mr. Fusion onto Mando's brand new.
Yes.
Mando's gonna be like, "I'm gonna feed the hyperdrive." He pops it open and throws in like one of those frogs that Grogu likes to eat, a banana peel.
Oh no! Yeah, he needs that. Missing that part. Just put that in there for you.
But look, I mean, let's face it. I mean, this show's done a pretty good job of kind of like bringing in lots of faces from other sci-fi things and having them make these little appearances. We had Michael Biehn last year play that weird guard guy that was protecting that thing that him and Ahsoka Tano were going at it. God, who was it in season 1? I forget. It was it.
I don't know.
But,
LeVar Burton.
No, he wasn't in it. Was he? I don't think so.
I know. I'm just making it up.
That'd be kind of bad. Hey, let Patrick Stewart pop up into one of these. I'm totally fine with that.
Oh, but then you know damn well there's gonna be so many Star Wars references. Like, wait a minute, no.
Hey, the meme universe would implode.
Talk about crossing streams.
I know,
but
Bill Murray in there. Why not?
The show's been really, really good about bringing in these other people from different, areas of sci-fi fandom and just letting them appear. Letting them be there for show. Me as a big baseball fan, I've always been kind of annoyed that sometimes when you get one of these baseball players that's kind of at the end of the line, this one team will sign him just so they can say this guy played for us, or just to put on the season ticket package to try to sell some more tickets. That kind of this is kind of a move like that to me, but at the same time, it's like, come on. I mean, the guy's had a great career. He's in his 90s, I'm pretty sure. If not, he's in his late 80s at least. Yeah. I mean, let's put this guy out there and let people see just how cool he is while we have a chance. Because it seems like in the last couple of years specifically, we've lost so many names. I mean, Betty White recently, in the last year, 3 or 4 months, and then William Hurt just last week, and so many other people. There's this whole generation of octogenarian actors that they don't have a lot of time left on this earth. I mean, I hate to say it. So get them out there now and let people enjoy them. And I think this is probably a really good way to do that. And on top of that, I mean, how badass is it going to be to see him on Tatooine somewhere in a bar, just like chilling out, giving some words of wisdom to Mando. I mean, I'm totally with that. I'm totally with this whole thing. Jeremy, what do you see? I mean, if you could write the scene for yourself, what would you do?
See, because like that was my first thought. Like I said, I was like, I went to like maybe he was some old Jedi that had survived this whole time. Weirdly, the person that like, I mean, if my thought was like, if you swap them, I wouldn't have known any better. I swear he could have played that lady in the junkyard that does the shit with the ships. I could like see him being her character, which is really funny. Like that makes me sad because like I don't want two of the same character like that. But some quirky, eccentric kind of tech-minded guy. Because again, you could very easily hide like a DeLorean somewhere in that like weird garage thing she's got. I don't know. I'd be cool if he's a Jedi. Or like you said, he could be some guy in a bar, just like gives him a passing line. I don't know.
Yeah, I think making him a Jedi would be a bit too much because then you'd have to explain where he's been this whole time.
I guess
maybe he was just you can make him one of the gray Jedis. He just wasn't involved in all that shit that was going on between the Rebellion and the Empire. He's just like, yeah, you guys do your thing. I'm gonna hang out over here and use the Jedi mind trick on bitches in the bar. You want to come over and hang out with me.
Causes confusion, especially with the bitches.
Right.
He was in there. He was a Rancor trainer now,
He
so.
was. But yeah, Danny Trejo, another one from kind of a little bit of a sci-fi background that has been in the show. Yeah. But yeah, I'm all for this. I don't see how this could be a bad thing unless they really kind of bollocks the whole thing up and they make him a stupid character. I don't want to see him play a frail old man. If they did that, I'd be a little disappointed. I want him to have. I don't need him. Like I said, I don't need him to be a significant part of the entire season. But I want him to have some good dialogue back and forth with Mando or with somebody else. Maybe even with Grogu. Maybe he somehow understands Grogu. And there is some good dialogue that is significant to at least that episode, if not the entire season's story. But I don't know. That's me. Cora, what kind of things do you think it would be cool to see Christopher Lloyd do in the show?
Well, Jeremy put in the chat, time traveler would be cool. Making it, it'd be even better if they actually brought the DeLorean on as a ship. But, a girl can dream. But I don't know. I mean, it could be something as simple as him being the bartender. It could be something trivial like that where it doesn't even matter.
That actually makes a lot of sense because you could give him a couple of decent pieces of dialogue from behind the bar. I mean, bartenders are kind of
Make him Guinan from Star Trek TNG,
yeah,
and have everybody like shitting like bricks. Like, oh my god, it's so exciting! He's playing nobody, but he's there. And he's talking to everybody.
Well, here's an interesting question: does he play a human character, or is he an alien in makeup?
True.
I don't know.
Didn't
I hope he looks like himself so people can recognize him. I think what's the point of him coming back otherwise?
Didn't Mando lose? I mean, he lost his big rifle. I think we haven't seen that thing in a hot minute. He lost the Razor Crest. I mean, I know we already set up that he has this little starfighter, but I'm like, what if dude was like an arms dealer, maybe like a ship, not like a used car salesman, but like a ship dealer? He's like, hey, get you something a little better for that thing that you can dock it inside the bigger.
And it's a DeLorean.
Yeah, I know. That's somehow bigger on the inside or some dumb shit, because Doctor Who. Why not? Yeah, I don't know. Because I'm like, I don't know if he's still going to... My thought was, I'm like, yeah, the Razor Crest was awesome. But like for a bounty hunter, I'm like, yeah, you got to have some room to... He had all those things of the frozen carbonite of all of his bounties. I'm like, how are you going to... I know we want to have the adventures of Mando and Grogu, and it's just them two in the ship because that's all you can fit. But I'm like, I don't see how you're going to do much bounty hunting in a ship like that. So maybe he gives him like some grand ship that he can, you can dock that Naboo starfighter and then just take it out on little one-off trips. But just give him something a little more substantial. I don't know.
This would actually be the third major sci-fi franchise that he's been in. Because not only was he in Back to the Future, he's going to be in The Mandalorian. He also played Commander Courage in Star Trek III: The Search for Spock. So he's got experience doing makeup. Now, granted, this was like 150 years ago. It was back in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility that he puts on a bit more makeup and plays some kind of an alien.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
This is the third major sci-fi franchise that he's been in.
Hey.
Possibly three of the biggest.
Yeah. Like we were talking about Bill Paxton. He's like, this is the only guy that's ever been killed by a Terminator, a Predator, and an alien. I'm like, yeah, how do you do that? That's amazing.
Crazy. But yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, on the surface, it feels like mostly fan service, but I'm like, he can still deliver lines. And let's face it, the writing for The Mandalorian has been fucking awesome. I bet you can give him some good dialogue. He's going to deliver it, and he's going to make it hit. And he's going to be fantastic, even if he is only in 5 minutes of episode 1, 5 minutes of episode 2, and then we don't see him again but for like 2 or 3 minutes in the final episode of the season. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But again, look for his dialogue. If he says, Great Scott.
Don't rename the show Christopher Lloyd, because he's not going to be in it much.
Yeah. If he says Great Scott, or even has just some kind of a thing where he's like, I fell off the toilet, like Jeremy said, I fell off the toilet and I drew this. And it's a picture of like Boba Fett. Or the Razor Crest or some shit like that. I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, right. that's a little much, but it'd still be awesome.
Or there's like a picture of like the drawing of the flux capacitor somewhere. That'd be funny.
One of those is gonna be in the background.
I know. I'm waiting for it.
Because Jon Favreau was a fan of all this stuff, and that's exactly the kind of thing Jon Favreau would do. Is he would sprinkle in some shit here and there. Like I guarantee there's gonna be a blender on the bar somewhere if he's a bartender that looks like
it's a Mr. Fusion.
It's probably even going to say Mr. Fusion on it. Like, he would be that blunt, that bold, just say Mr. Fusion. And then there will be a moment where, like, he is the bartender, turns around, drops some shit in there, makes a drink, and serves it to Mando.
Maybe. Or, like, maybe, what if if he has his own ship, and he takes off, and it leaves, like, a trail of fire behind it. You know what I mean? Just like the car did.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. And speaking of that, I actually didn't know this until recently. As many times as I've seen Firefly, it's not that I'm looking for it, but I didn't know. I don't remember which episode it is, but there's actually no, I remember which one it is now. It's the one where Malcolm and Zoe get that guy delivered to them. He was dead. That their old war buddy got sent to their ship. There's a scene where Kaylee's like in her hammock in the engine room or some shit. If you like, she's like sitting like this, but like right above her, just when you see it, it's like clear as day. There's a little carbonite Han Solo just sitting up on her shelf right there. It's weird. I never noticed that.
I didn't either.
So, someone pointed it out. I'm like, I didn't know that. So again, Joss Whedon, he was just like, yeah, okay, let's blatantly put a, like what it is. It's a little Han Solo and carbonite just on Kaylee's little bunk up there. I'm like, okay, cool.
But yeah, go down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think. We always do the breakdown of the Mandalorian episodes one at a time as they come. And there's going to be plenty for us to talk about the Mandalorian Season 3 coming up, especially after what we saw from the Mandalorian and the return of Grogu in the last couple episodes of the book of Boba Fettalorian, Mandafetta, whatever that was supposed to be. So go down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think about Christopher Lloyd joining the Mandalorian. And Lady Cora, what's our final topic of the day?
Final topic is a throwback to the 80s. So Jeremy probably won't know anything about this. Live action feature adaptation of Voltron to be co-written and directed by Red Notice's Rawson Marshall Thurber has sparked a bidding war among both studios and streamers. Todd Lieberman and David Hoberman will produce the film alongside Bob Kopler, whose company World Events Productions controls rights to Voltron. Warner Brothers, Universal, and Amazon are all in competition to land the package, though Netflix, which is home to both Red Notice and the 2016 series Voltron Legendary Defender, is not. Frank, you grew up a Voltron fan, as you told me. What do you think of a live-action film?
Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy, joy.
I think he likes it.
There are 3 animated things from my childhood that I watched that I have been dying to see in live action form. One of them was kind of this a very obscure thing called Mask. It was about some cars that like had the wing doors and like you would open and fly, and every character had a different mask and a different car that had different abilities. Very, very obscure, and I know that somebody had picked up the movie rights to it, but I don't think it's going anywhere. Another one was Robotech, and that's another one that has come really, really close. As a matter of fact, I think about 10 years ago or so, Jake Gyllenhaal was actually connected to a Robotech movie. But Robotech has a lot of similarities to Transformers. So when the Transformers came out and all those movies started to come out one after another, I think the Robotech thing kind of got pushed off to the side. But there is still some hope for that film. But the one that I've really, really wanted to see is Voltron. Like, this is one of the, like, this was a staple of my childhood. Like, to this day, I mean, because you can actually find it on, I think Netflix has all the original Voltron series from 1983 and 84. I think they have all the original stuff on there. It's actually listed as Voltron 84. And it's all the original, uncut, unremastered, like, really hazy animated shit.
That's awesome.
But I also have watched the first, like, season and a half of Voltron Legendary Defenders that they came out with just a few years ago. And I was watching them pretty regularly, but I just kind of got pulled away and I haven't been able to catch up. But they've got 8 full seasons of that out now. Yeah, this is one thing. I mean, just on the surface, it sounds wild and cool. Why wouldn't you want to do this? And honestly, this has had such a fan thing come out about it that this has had such fan backing that I remember when Cloverfield came out that there was a, like, you know how J.J. Abrams was doing all the viral marketing shit for all of his movies for a long time until he started doing all the big blockbuster things, and then it kind of became undoable for him. there was a rumor that Cloverfield was actually going to be a Voltron movie because of this one clip that came out where you hear him say, "I saw it. It's alive. It's huge." A lot of people thought that he was saying, "I saw it. It's a lion. It's huge." So there was a big rumor going around that Cloverfield was actually a Voltron movie.
Nah, it was Lion-O.
Lion-O.
It could have been. Hey,
Could have been Lion-O.
yeah, you know.
But yeah, I mean, there has been a big groundswell of support from people my age and even some of the younger people that have been exposed to Voltron over the years that want to see this movie. Jeremy being one of them, of course. So it's kind of about time, and I like the fact that they're really getting somebody involved in this. Now, my problem with this is that the guy involved in all this stuff, the what's his name, Rawson Marshall Thurber, he doesn't really have a great track record. That kind of worries me a bit.
Oh no.
Well, I mean, think of it this way: he wrote and directed Dodgeball, Central Intelligence, and Skyscraper and Red Notice. He was the producer as well on the last two. So he wrote, directed, and produced Skyscraper, which was not a good movie. I mean, even Dwayne Johnson fans are kind of like, meh, that movie wasn't all that good. Central Intelligence was funny, but not exactly a barn burner. Dodgeball was a funny movie. We all know Dodgeball.
Yes.
Red Notice has done well. He also was the the director and writer. He is going to be the director and writer of The Division, which is a Netflix film that is coming out based on the video game.
Oh no!
Yes.
No! Don't do that.
Not only that, but he's writing and producing the pilot of a D&D series that is, I think, in the works for, I want to say Amazon, but I'm not 100% sure.
Now you got me a little bit worried. I'm like, oh no, don't.
But the thing is while, I mean, look, Dodgeball was a fun movie. Not a great movie, but a fun movie. Central Intelligence, again, a lot of people are kind of like, meh. It was kind of an average comedy. Skyscraper, a lot of people just didn't like. Red Notice got some good buzz, but it wasn't exactly an Oscar winner. And now he's doing this Division thing, which, I mean, video game movies, we've talked about it a million times on here. They can miss really bad. And the D&D thing, which there's actually 2 D&D projects in the works right now, and we're not really sure how those are going to go. So my guess is that he's probably not going to be the one that directs this. I have a feeling that this is probably going to move forward. I just don't really think it's going to move forward with him. You know what I mean?
It wouldn't be hard to make a... I didn't know that was... I think I saw that there was going to be something about a movie about The Division. I'm like, okay. Keep Tom Clancy involved and cool. I don't know. It's not like it's a hard... Again, it's a pretty solid concept. I mean, if they're going with the first game, yeah, it'd be hilarious if it came out now because COVID. If no one knows, the video game guy. The premise is that there was something, I think it was called the Black Friday plague. What had happened was somebody like bioengineered this really aggressive strain of I think the flu, which is it's funny. And they put it on a bunch of dollar bills and shit, and they sent it out during like Black Friday, which a lot of money changes a lot of hands during Black Friday, so it just wiped people out like that. So it's kind of a post-apocalyptic kind of deal. It's fun. It's not, there's no like zombies or anything. It's just people got really sick and died just really fast. And it's the Division is the group that you're a part of. That's kind of not vigilantes, but you're kind of trying to basically be you're trying to do the good for the world and give people, a place to stay, give them shelter, give them protection, try to right the wrongs of all these people that are just running around being stupid, the rioters, looters, people that make their own little band of dickheads, basically. And it's set in New York City, so it's kind of fun. 2 was set in DC, I think. So it's a fun time. Sorry, carry on. Yeah. Mhm. I'm just seeing Transformers. So cool. Yeah. You could. Yeah, it's cool. I vaguely, yeah, like you said, I know. I think me and Frank's had this conversation before, or I've said it before. Like people have this weird notion that, oh, if I wasn't alive during the time that it was out, I have no clue what it is, or I've never seen it. I'm like, I can watch stuff, right? Like that's not how that works. Just because I wasn't actually there doesn't mean I don't know what it is or haven't seen it. Yes, thank you. Go watch our last video. That's you'll know what I'm talking about because we know shit here. I remember watching. Like I remember that, like you said, like that kind of grainy, like this weird kind of animation of. I remember them like forming together and making this. It was so cool because I remember seeing some of the old like Transformers too, back in the day, and I just thought it was. I mean, little me, just thought it was the coolest fucking shit ever. I didn't really know what it was. I was there for the ride, man. It's a fun time. Hey, so my mom said we lost your audio, Frank. Yeah.
Sorry, you know what happened? I was about to sneeze, and I turned it off for a minute in case I did. But anyway,
We should hear him now.
yeah, you should be able to hear me now. But a little bit of background is that the Voltron was based in the Japanese sci-fi series Beast King Go Lion and Kaiku Kentai Dyer Ruger 15. I know I butchered all that shit. World Events edited and dubbed the series as a syndicated show titled Voltron Defender of the Universe that ran in the mid-1980s. The premise centered on 5 young pilots in a battalion named the Robot Lions, which were vehicles that joined together to form the mega robot known as Voltron. The show has become an instant hit, then maintained a cult following the decade since. Yes, it absolutely did. DVD sales were in the hundreds of thousands, and the show was rebooted for Nicktoons in 2011, then Netflix in 2016. So it's got legs.
How do you not like this premise? It's cool as shit.
Yeah, it's something that you could do.
Yeah.
And you guys probably didn't hear me waxing philosophical about Voltron a minute ago because I forgot to unmute myself. But
it hurt me.
But I mean,
sorry.
This thing. I mean, like I said, it's got a huge following. My 14-year-old watches it. I had started to watch the Voltron series that came out in 2016 on Netflix. I got about a season and a half into it, and I haven't been able to go back and watch the rest. But I liked it. I mean, it's got legs. It feels like this is a good time for this thing. Not only that, but it's with Star Wars kind of not being on the outs, but with the Star Wars universe focusing on the Disney Plus series they have going, like Mandalorian, Boba Fett, and whatever they have coming next. Ahsoka,
or the Lego series.
Ahsoka, yeah, and that too. But it could be time. There's a window here to start another kind of space-based saga, and why can't it be this? Because it's kind of part medieval fantasy, part outer space sci-fi, part Transformer, part tech. There's a lot of different aspects of this thing that come together that have the potential to come together and make a really badass story. And then to top it off, I mean, just look how cool that damn robot looks. I mean, look at the robot. It looks dope. It looks dope as shit.
How do you not? That's what I'm saying. I remember, like I said, I remember that animation. I remember that thing when it comes together, man. Shit's about to go down.
And it's now, yes, every
episode Gundam.
is the same damn thing.
Gundam. I'm sorry. I was the whole time like, what's the other one? Damn it, Gundam.
Gundam was the other one, yeah.
That's the other reason I was like Transformers, Gundam, and Voltron. Like I don't know how anyone like used to like from maybe like Frank's age to maybe even some of my age. How do you not like these big mech robots just going in and wrecking shit? Come on, how do you not like that? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and granted, all the episodes were kind of all the same thing. It's like some big who's the bad guy? I forget. I'm drawing a blanket who the bad guy is. I want to say it was Zord, but I know that's not right. But Lotor is the bad guy, I think. But he sends these monsters down to try to kick the asses of these people that run Voltron because they're the only thing standing in the way of him taking over the entire universe. And there's inevitably some big fight, and they can't fight them as lions, so they combine to form Voltron. Voltron makes his energy sword, slices them in half, and that's the end of every episode. That's exactly how every episode
you want to see it, yeah.
But it's still cool. And on top of that, there were some aspects narratively of the Voltron series on Netflix, the 2016 one, that I think would work really well in film form. Because the first couple episodes, you actually don't see them form Voltron because there is this, not neural link, but there is some kind of a weird mental link between these pilots and these lions. So nobody else can get these things to work, but in order to form Voltron, they have to have a strong mental bond with their machines. And so there is a struggle as these people are trying to figure out themselves and how to work as a team, how to work in coordination with your lion. There is a struggle for the first 2 or 3 episodes to try to form Voltron because they can't seem to get it to work right mentally. They have to get there as teammates. So that's something that you could probably work with as well in the movie. Because one of the things I'd really hate to see out of this movie is if they form Voltron the first 5 minutes. That would be kind of a waste.
That has to be like the fever pitch.
Yeah, I want some build up. I want there to be something like that, like they're struggling to put it all together, and then, I mean, because you saw this again in the Power Rangers movie, like they had something like that happen in that movie as well. So, I think it would be interesting to see that build up and things like that, and then at the very end of the movie, when you've got 1 or 2, big monsters you got to fight, they finally figure their shit out, and then they wreck shop, they kill these monsters, and then of course there's going to be a post-credit scene or a mid-credit scene that leads to a potential sequel, and then off we go home, very happy that we got to see a Voltron movie. So that's kind of what I want to see. But I'm really into this.
You know what I want to see. I said Gundam, and now I'm thinking of we have it here. We have the second the Ready Player 2 book that came out. I'm like, please, dear God, make a movie. Please, dear God, put this in there. Look, I did not know that a fight between the Iron Giant and Mechagodzilla, and then eventually Mechagodzilla and the fucking Gundam, I did not know I needed to see that fight until I saw that movie. That's why I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. Like, you don't expect dude to come flying in on Serenity from Firefly, jump down, like throw this gauntlet on, and then become the Gundam. I'm like, what? God, if we saw that in a movie, just even for a hot second, they just right into Voltron. Oh my God.
And here's something else to think about too. Even Hollywood knows that there's a lot of potential in this particular property. They've been trying to launch a live-action Voltron movie since the early 2000s to no avail. Mark Gordon and Pharrell Williams were part of a team that tried to mount a project in the mid-2000s, and later New Regency got involved. In the early 2010s, Relativity Media was developing a feature with Thomas Dean Donnelly and Joshua Oppenheimer. DreamWorks at one point tried to develop an animated feature for Voltron. So when you've got some of these big names, these heavy hitters in animation and in filmmaking trying to get this thing out there in a live-action form, they understand that there's real big potential in this, not just to make money, to tell a pretty awesome story. So, bring it. I don't need it. Just get this thing in front of a camera and shoot it. I mean, director's going to matter too, because I have no idea who'd be directing this thing.
Keep Michael Bay away from this damn thing.
You know what? The first 2 Transformers movies were good.
Fair, but
I agree.
I had
after
to
that they went
drag through the third one. My God.
After that they went off the rails. And look, Michael Bay's had some misses. He's had some hits too.
I know.
So, I would rather Michael Bay not do it. because
that's what I'm saying. I'd rather you just not.
Because if he's got a knock on anything, he's a whole lot of style and not usually enough substance. Those are usually the movies that he takes a knock on because you need some meat on the bone. You know what I mean? But
and not too much like you did with the Ninja Turtles. That was weird. I don't know what that was.
That was not fantastic. But yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of potential in this thing for a movie as long as you get the right director and the right people writing the script, the right story. I think this could kill it. I think people like this. Like I said, there's no Star Wars right now, except for on Disney Plus and the shows. So if you want some big theatrical level, outer space, robots, monsters, kind of operatic thing, I think this is the property. Because what else would you really have? I mean, Star Trek, it's not doing good in movie form right now. I mean, for all the shit that Paramount's talking about trying to do another movie with Chris Pine and that whole cast, I really don't think it's going to happen. I think that Star Trek is probably better off in the small screen, at least right now. But I mean, this could be the next huge space sci-fi big battle thing. I think it could be a lot of fun.
I agree.
Cora, did you watch Voltron? I mean, you're old enough. I mean,
I did.
You probably watched it.
I loved it. Did. And I don't know. I just I actually liked it more than I did Transformers, to be honest.
That's fair.
I've always held them kind of in equal regard. Love Transformers. But yeah, I think this movie would do well. I mean, Transformers did very, very well. It's actually doing well again because Bumblebee was a really good movie.
Yeah, because
I still have not seen that one.
And he was
actually the car he was supposed to be.
Yeah, there's another Transformers movie that I think is in the works right now, and they like it enough to where they greenlit it, and they wanted to spend 150 or $200 million making it. So they've got to have at least a little bit of confidence in it. So I mean, other than another potential Transformers movie, I mean, what could you really do? Because I've heard they want to do a sequel to Bumblebee. I just haven't seen any movement on that anywhere that I've read that's actually going to happen. So, so maybe the next thing we see from the Transformers franchise is just going to be another Transformers movie, and not necessarily a Bumblebee thing. But I don't know. I think there's all kinds of opportunities, all kinds of just badass shit you could do with this IP. I think it would be a waste not to do it, especially when you consider that this is one of those things that's got that really, really big cult following. So, I mean, now the important thing would be, though, to keep the budget kind of down. Because, I mean, let's say they greenlit this movie right now. Anything over like $150 million, you'd be guaranteeing this movie is going to be a financial failure. So you'd have to make sure I mean, this could not be this couldn't be like an Avengers style movie. You couldn't do a $250 million movie on Voltron. You'd have to keep the budget in control. I mean, because as much as everybody loves Batman, I mean, a lot of people. I mean, 3 years ago, if you'd have brought out this Robert Pattinson Batman movie, you would have been betting money on that movie making $1 billion. I don't think it's going to get there, because there is still a lot of stuff going on as far as people going to the movie theater, and there will be for a couple of years. A lot of apprehension for some people. Just don't, they don't want to do it because they worry about their safety, and I get it. So you have to keep the budget down, and don't spend $250 million in this thing. And Leaping Lizard said Peter Cullen better come back as the narrator of the Voltron movie. Yeah, Peter Cullen, voice acting legend. But this is a fantastic idea. I want this movie right now. I've wanted this movie for the last 30 years. I'm ready. Bring it on. And then turn your attention to Robotech. Because I still watch random episodes of Robotech from here and there just for shits and giggles. I think that show is absolutely phenomenal. That's some great anime from the 80s. But, I don't know. Just go down in the comments below. Let us know what you guys think. Were you guys fans of Voltron back in the 80s like I was? Or were you fans of the more recent stuff that has come out in the 2000s? Like I said, I've been watching episodes here and there of the 2016 Voltron Legendary Defenders on Netflix, and I think it's pretty good. I think it's fun. They didn't change the core of it too much. They changed a few things to kind of modernize it a bit, but other than that, it's really every bit as good as the original stuff, I think, anyway. But go down in the comments below and let us know what you guys think of all that stuff. Now, let's go in the chat and see what some of you guys have been saying about some of the stuff we've been talking about for the last, 2 hours or so. Talk that talk. Heistman Defoe says, Play-doh movie, what's next? Scrabble the movie? Yeah. It's like, I wouldn't be surprised. That wouldn't surprise me in the least bit. Jeremy says, can't wait to see Hungry Hippos Civil War. Hey, that could work.
Yeah, it could.
Let's see. There's Stream Elements popping in. There's Casey, of course, trying to make himself known. Federico, what's going on to you, my man? Let's see. Casey said he's coming for my subs. Nah, he ain't coming for my subs. He ain't doing shit. Let's see. Heist says Morbius looks like it's going to be good. You know what? We should probably talk about that real quick. I actually was gonna lead with this, but the Batman thing came up. There are some early word coming out about Morbius. Some of the people that claim to have seen the movie already. Now remember, the review embargo does not lift for this movie for another couple of days. So critics that have seen the movie so far are not allowed to give anything other than very vague, like Twitter reviews of the movie. 140 characters, that's it. But there is some stuff coming out about Morbius. Friends, it ain't good.
Oh, no.
It ain't good. Now, take that with a Mount Everest-sized grain of salt. Because
what?
Some of the shit that you hear before actual reviews come out can be shady. Because usually anybody who talks about a movie anywhere near very openly before the review embargo lifts is kind of a douchebag. So they're probably not very trustworthy anyway. But some of the things that I've heard about this is that they have completely cut out some serious shit in this movie. That they have actually...
Why would they do that?
I don't know. For one, I don't know that it's 100% true. I don't know that this
Okay.
is true. I'm not going to know for sure for another, week and a half or so until I actually get to go see Morbius. But
Right.
from what I've heard, they have cut out a lot of stuff that connects Morbius to Spider-Man. And I mean a lot. Like,
Do you think there's going to be a director's cut in the future then?
I don't know why. Again, if this is true, I don't know why these cuts were made. But they've even gone as far as to cut out that one scene in the trailer where you see Michael Morbius walking down the street and you see the Spider-Man mural with the word murderer scrolled across it. They've even cut that out. And another thing that I've heard is that while the Toomes character, the Vulture character played by Michael Keaton, was supposed to actually not be a significant part of the film, but actually be in several parts of the movie, they have cut him out completely and relegated him to a post scene.
Nice.
Oh.
This is concerning. Now, again, this could be 100% bullshit.
Or you're going to get a theater version, and you're going to get a director's cut version with all of this shit in it.
That's the thing. That's the thing, though, is we don't want that. We want this movie to come out of the gates hot.
I hear you.
And if you're going to neuter this movie before it even hits the big screen, and then go back and do it, and then we're going to have to go through this all release the Snyder Cut bullshit.
Yeah.
And years of having to fight that battle to get a better version of the movie, it's going to ruin it. Because by the time we actually get that better version of the movie, we're going to be on Morbius Part 2, we're going to be into Spider-Man and whatever the hell comes next, we're going to be into, we're going to be deep into the Spider-Verse shit, and it's going to be too damn late for that movie to be significant. Because that's exactly what happened with the Snyder Cut.
Well, that's exactly what you're going to get here if it's already leaking, they're cutting it like this. Just expect that you're going to have that experience.
That's the thing, is we don't want that experience.
I don't want to go in there expecting I'm
just saying, prepare yourself for it.
That experience is going to be terrible. I don't want that experience. It's like it's like going to get your colon checked. You know that experience is going to be terrible. It's like, you don't want that experience. There's no way to re-edit that experience. There's no Snyder cut. It's like there's no way to make that more enjoyable. So that's a big concern for me. Again, all these reports could be 100% bullshit. They could be like 50% bullshit. They could be true. We're not really going to know until we actually see the movie. But that's a big point of concern for me because with everything that we saw in Spider-Man No Way Home, get this idea that we've been given as to how the Sony Spider-Man stuff will progress, not necessarily in conjunction with the MCU. There's a lot of reasons to be excited, and so to have Morbius come in there, and then you're obviously gonna have some kind of a symbiote thing that he's gonna have to fight at some point. If you pay attention to the post-credit scene of No Way Home, so they've got this set up to where the Spider-Verse stuff is going to be really, really wild and cool. Why would you work so hard to separate Morbius from that? That's the question. Now, it could be, and in best case scenario, it could be that everything's gone so great so far that you don't really want to marry Morbius that much to the Spider-Verse right now. You kind of want to let him grow and breathe on his own before you give him a really, really deep connection to Spider-Man. But all the marketing has made the Toomes character, Keaton's character, they've made him look like a significant part of the movie. All the marketing has said that there is a Spider-Man in this universe. He's even mentioned Venom by name. You're building this universe for a week before the movie comes out for news to hit that all this stuff is being cut out. That's not good. Again, it could all be wrong. It could all be bullshit. It could all be just some asshole who's like, I'm just going to go say a bunch of shit about this movie to get clicks. It could just be all that. But it could also be true.
Because then twats like us are going to sit here and talk about it.
Because then twats like us are going to sit here and talk about it. It could be a plant by the studio. You never know.
You never know.
Could be a plant by the studio. I don't know. But that's just something that I've heard about in the last couple of days. And I was going to make that my off-the-top thing to start the show, but the Batman thing came up and I wanted to talk about that. But thanks to whoever brought that up in the chat. I forget who it was. Heisman says it's funny that I called them Potterheads. That's what they're called. People who are big Harry Potter fans are called Potterheads. I think it's a perfect name. I think it's fantastic.
I think he's giggling because it's almost very close. You just call them potheads. I'm like, yeah, I know, but that's not it.
Hi says that Play-Doh smell is iconic. His wife Charlene and him were spilling their daughter's Play-Doh just 2 days ago. The worst things you can sniff.
Yeah.
Let's see. Love that fresh Play-Doh scent. Says Jeremy. Yeah, it does smell good. Let's see. Hi says a lot of companies going to be lined up for advertising that's going to come from that Play-Doh movie. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of every movie, though. He said, I said Battleship was a movie, too. Yeah, we talked about that. It wasn't a great movie. Yeah, it was kind of fun to watch. It wasn't a great movie. It was fun to watch. Heist says he thinks the Power Rangers should have been a Netflix series. You know, that could have been something cool. But honestly, I liked the movie, and I was really kind of hoping for a sequel. To be perfectly honest, I mean, even I thought the third act got a little too campy when they played the old Power Rangers theme from the TV show, and they had the fucking things coming in from the side, and I was like, you're getting too campy for me. This was the version of Power Rangers that I couldn't get into. I don't really want it, but I mean, ultimately,
hate to do it, but I gotta cut out. I got something I gotta take care of that just popped up. So
we'll go take care of that. We'll see you later, Cora. You can find Lady Cora on here with us every Thursday. I'll do her outro for her.
Yeah, that's it.
And occasionally on. But now I gotta fix cameras. Damn it.
Yeah, I was like, nah, I'm probably somewhere else now.
I can only see half a joke.
In space.
But Heist did not know that there was a movie that actually took place in Oscar the Grouch's trash can. It was called The Adventures of Elmo in Grouchland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
As I try to reconnoiter some cameras here. I'm sorry you guys have to see some of the behind the scenes stuff, but can't have the show without Jeremy after all.
I know. I see it now. Just my arm waving off here, like, oh my god, help me! I'm like stuck halfway in between some weird void.
There we go. Now we're back. Now we're back to seeing Jeremy.
Backroom shit, if you know what that is.
Yeah, but let's see. Your mom said she was going to give you money for Christmas to go buy your own pop figures. That's so very nice of you.
I know. Thank you.
Hi says he has a Better Call Saul pop figure. Nice.
Because I think I then asked, is there a Walter White or Jesse Pinkman? That'd be awesome.
Hi says the space-time continuum would explode if Patrick Stewart showed up. Nerds everywhere would nut themselves. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we're on the verge of nutting ourselves right now just having Christopher Lloyd show up. I mean,
well, I was gonna say we're gonna freak the hell out when we see him in the multiverse. Even
true.
That was definitely his voice.
And then Heist had to chirp out because Duke's playing a tournament game right now. Go Duke. Go Duke. Go Blue Devils. Because I don't really give a shit about anybody playing. Let's see. Dennis Kenger says Cursed Child isn't canon and it's a disgrace. I have not read it, so I don't know if it's any good or not. I don't even know how much canon it is. Again, I don't really know anything about the story. But I would assume that it's probably canon. I mean, if they want Daniel Radcliffe to come back and play Harry Potter.
Well, I'd say, Rowling's a disgrace, but I mean, she wrote it, so I don't know.
I don't know anything about the story.
I don't either.
I only know that it does have Harry Potter in an older part of his life, so I don't really know much about it. But Leaping Lizard says that Derringer 15 was turned into Vehicle Voltron. Yeah, Vehicle Voltron was dumb. I don't think anybody liked the GoBots or whatever the hell they were. I don't think anybody liked those. He says also Peter Cullen coming back as a narrator for Voltron movie. Absolutely, that'd be wonderful. Federico Garza says love Robotech. Robotech's fantastic. If you like Voltron, you're gonna love Robotech. The whole plot behind Robotech is that a spaceship crash lands on Earth, and there's nothing in it. There's no aliens, no beings, no nothing. It just crash lands, and so the people of Earth build up a base and a city around this spaceship, and they use all the technology to create these, for lack of a better word, these transformers, to an extent, that they use to defend the Earth against anything that comes a knocking to cause trouble. I don't know.
Kind of makes sense though.
And they're kind of weird because they take the shape of like these crazy cool like sleek looking airplanes, but all of them. It's not like they take different shapes of cars and airplanes and helicopters and shit. They're just all airplanes. But then a couple of quick moves, they turn into these transformer looking like robots, and they can fight like that too. So yeah, I mean that's what Robotech is. You can I'm pretty sure it's on Prime. That you can find all the original Robotech stuff on Prime for free. But so thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks for everybody coming to hang out. I think that's a pretty good place to wrap everything up. Jeremy, where can the folks at home find you on the internet?
I'm always here on Thursdays doing all this whatnot. I'm also here on Tuesdays, and I'm gonna say this. It's funny that there are like 10 of you here constantly, but not jack shit when I do stuff on Tuesdays. So y'all be sleeping on some cool stuff. It's just, it's the same format as me and Rachel usually, or maybe Zach or my friend Brady, even Rachel's friends. We all coming here to bullshit and building this big Lego Falcon.
The trivia stuff was actually really cool you guys were doing the other night.
Yeah, we just start doing that. So I mean, that's a fun thing. If you know, because it was usually just me and her railing stuff off to each other. But hey, get the chat involved if you guys want to do some trivia. Because I know Frank said, well, you want to get some of these other YouTubers together. We might have like a big trivia night or something. So that's always fun. So why not? Yeah. So we're here on Tuesdays building this Falcon. We plowed through this last Tuesday and did 3 bags, which now thankfully leaves us 1 bag for the next 2 weeks. So we got 1 bag per. So we are almost done with this thing. I'm like, if any time for the viewership to spike, I mean, you want to see this thing that we've been building for the last like 8 weeks come to fruition, definitely be there on Tuesdays. We got the last part here. I can see the book. I think it's gonna be the cockpit, which is a pretty iconic piece of this ship. And then I'm assuming the last part is the last little doodads, whatever, and then the top gunner turret. So, and then after that point, no more Tuesday stuff until there's something else that we have in mind along the same lines of Lego that we could probably do a one-off stream on just to have fun. But then Tuesdays we'll take over do the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga game over on my Twitch channel. So head over there in preparation for that, because it's, even though I think just in the last day they did say there's no custom character thing, but we have 300 characters for you to choose from. Like, I know that, but you understand how much that would be awesome if we could make our own characters with those 300 characters? Jesus. I don't know. Yeah, I'm also on Twitter, and as I mentioned, Twitter's just kind of me just plugging this and myself. And then, on Twitch, I'll be getting, well, I'm not playing online stuff, so I'm not getting plugged either. I'm just, doing my own thing. Fortnite doesn't have building anymore, so maybe I actually stand a chance now.
Only for another couple of days.
I don't know. I've apparently positive feedback. They might just keep it. I'm like, make it a mode. I'd say make it a mode. If you want to do no building, fine. If you want to do building, just do that. That's kind of the whole. That's its defining trait. I don't know why you would get rid of it. I don't know, because then it's just like any other BR game. It's just a cartoony, weird version of one now. I don't know. I said that. I said like 6 years ago.
I love how all the builders are freaking out without having building.
I know. I'm like, yeah, because guess what? Now you all can't. You actually have to get into a gunfight with me, which you were too damn scared to do.
The biggest most entertaining thing about this whole Fortnite losing the building thing. And granted, I just went back to playing Fortnite in the last couple of weeks. I hadn't played Fortnite much for the last probably year or so. But the biggest form of entertainment for me through this whole thing is watching the people who are big time builders
lose their fucking mind.
Lose their absolute shit.
You know what?
It's so funny.
I know this is YouTube and I really don't care, but you know what I gotta say about all of you? Boom. That's what you deserve. I was just about to say, I said that shit like 6 years ago whenever this damn game came out, like 2013, 14. I was like, damn, this game would be fun if it wasn't for this stupid building. Look, I eventually got to a point where I could kind of build. I didn't do like freak shit where I make a whole city in about 2 seconds. I could defensively build. I could get something around me real quick, build up a little bit, and like look around for somebody while he's up in the fucking stratosphere, like building a damn sky base to come. You know what I mean? I think it's fine. Like, yeah, because guess what? Boom, now you can't do your thing anymore. I'm like, whoa, watch that threshold of yeah. You got someone like me who's been playing FPSs since y'all were sucking on your mom's tits. You can't get in a gunfight with me because you know you will lose. Just because you can do some freaky shit with some building that I can't do, that I just technically cannot fucking do. Look, you're going to get scoped, and I'm just saying, that's what makes it so funny to me. Oh, and I've seen so many people, like I said, Mara, well, her character, Mara from Call of Duty, it's Alex Zedra. She said she had a blast doing it with no building. I don't know. Weirdly enough, even Ninja, who got famous off that game, said it was cool. And then someone like Laserbeam, though, who I watched, was like, "This is the dumbest thing that's ever happened in this game." I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm just sitting back and laughing.
I say bring back the food fight game mode. That was fun.
Yes.
You've got 9 million different game modes on Fortnite now. You couldn't bring back Fortnite, or couldn't bring back food fight.
Food fight.
Why couldn't you bring that one back? And what was the one where you had to go around the map? It was kind of like Disco Domination. That was it.
Yes.
That was
you
fun.
and I did that one.
I got I got so many good sniping kills, just like tree camp up there and just start pissing people off.
Yeah.
They go hang out around there, and they start dancing, and I just, nice quick headshot from a tree somewhere and piss them off.
I even had fun with the little zombies thing where you had to keep constantly kind of moving with the thing and killing the zombies as you went across the map. Like, that was fun.
I miss Kevin the Cube.
Right, Kevin. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, I don't know. I'm whatever. I'm probably the old man of the game because I played it when it first came out. Stopped for a hot second and then kept going until the end of chapter 1. And then I'm like, I'm kind of done. I don't want to do this anymore. I've had my fun. To that, like you said, like to that now be like not having played it since then and just kind of laugh at like, yeah, now you just, that's funny.
I saw a great clip on Facebook earlier today.
I hope you all lost sleep over it. God, I love that.
Great clip on Facebook earlier today of these two guys were one-on-one on somewhere on the map on Fortnite. And the one guy starts building like crazy. And the other guy pulls out that
the chair?
Where he sits in the chair and just waits.
He just sits there and waits. Boom! Snipes him right off the corner.
And
like, yeah.
Snipes him from the ground. I was like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's what I mean. You are all those freaky builders. I am the one who will sit there and like wait till you're done. Like, all right.
I'll just let you build up in the sky. Then I'll go take out the bottom layer of your thing and let you fall to your death.
I'm saying, I know
people
gotta
fire a shot. I can get a kill.
I know. Just you're hacking away at the bottom of the build, and then guess what? Now you're gonna fall. I don't know. I think it's the greatest thing that's ever happened because only for that reason because I'm a petty douchebag. That's so funny to me. Oh my god, I would win so many more games. I know there's stuff like there's slide, like slide now, like in Apex, and I think COD. There's other things like that that's in the game. Like that makes it fun. You can
slide, now you can sprint.
Yeah, like you can sprint, you can slide. I'm like, see that I like. I like games that it's kind of basically Call of Duty. I'm like, that's fine. I love that.
I don't mind the sprint. The problem is the sprint control is too sensitive. Sometimes we just try to move around and it starts sprinting, or it starts sprinting in a gunfight, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? I'm not trying to sprint. I'm trying to because the sensitivity in Fortnite to me is just way off. It's either too sensitive or not sensitive enough.
I wonder if because some games will let you do like it'll be tap or like double tap or hold the sprint. Maybe change that. Maybe.
Yeah.
If that's look, I didn't know that one thing was I showed you that thing where it shows you it shows you where footsteps are, where a building is happening, where shots are coming from. I was like, I did not know that was a thing. I think your son actually is the one who told me that. And I was like, where was that? They never mentioned that. It made the game so much easier.
Yeah.
when I know some little shit's in the house below me and I can see, he's over on this side, I can hear. It says footsteps, and it says it's over here. I'm like, Jesus. And then they gave the different types of controller layouts. That helped tremendously.
Yeah. That's why one of the things when I first started playing video games, one of the first things I learned was go to the settings. Go check your settings.
Yes. I hate it. I hate it, but man, you kind of have to. I'm like, me, it's always, okay, sensitivity, and then like whatever. If it's something specific with guns, like, okay, with what types of scopes, high zoom, low zooms, dead zones. Yeah, do all that before you start playing a game. Maybe play a couple little test games here and there to check it out, see how it feels. But
don't forget to tell the people where they can find you on Twitch.
Should be in the description.
It's in the description. Well, usually you say it. You haven't gotten to that point yet. Anyway, go down to the description. Grim Tuesday 23 on all platforms. That's what he's trying to say.
You know the name. It's all the same. That's what I say.
Across all platforms. Go find
except for
on Twitter.
Except for TikTok.
Yeah, but TikTok doesn't matter.
I know. It's TikTok's underscore. Just because some fucker has my name on TikTok and it makes me so mad. Doesn't do anything with it.
You should report him.
I should. Like, dude, get rid of give that to me.
Just to be spiteful, report him.
I might have to go back and find it now, yeah, because it kept telling me that name's taken. I'm like, how? So then I made mine, they went and found him. I was like, really?
As for me, you can find me here every Thursday with the Dowager Countess Lady Cora and my hetero life mate Jeremy, talking about all the crazy shit going on in the world of entertainment, giving you our reviews and thoughts on all the things that are happening in the world of movies and television and entertainment. We don't talk music enough, you know that? That was one of the things that me and you have always talked about. We've never really done music stuff on this channel.
Yeah.
We need to start doing more music stuff.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of glad when she said, like, what else do you want to do trivia? But, like, how about music? That's a big thing me and you were into.
We'll work on that.
That's
but
fine.
When I'm not here on Thursdays, you can find me over on the Derailed News and Podcast, Sunday nights at 9 o'clock. There will actually be a special stream tomorrow at the usual derailed time of 9 o'clock, where we will be simulcasting for at least a good portion of the night with Talk That Talk, Get a News and Opinion. My man, Heistman Defoe, man! Go check out his channel, too. The link to his channel is in the description below, as well as Derailed News and Podcast. And then Sunday night, I'm probably going to do like a post-show thing after Drew's videos that he's going to put out Sunday anyway. So probably sometime around midnight. For those of you who are watching from the Derailed community, I'll probably be on about midnight or so, just doing like an hour or so of just some random bullshit. There's a lot to go over in NFL free agency, so I'll probably see if J-Man wants to get on and talk about that. There's some other oddball stories that have popped up over the course of the last couple of days, and I don't know if Drew's going to be able to get to tomorrow. We might go over some of those things. So all the stuff we talk about there is going to be, it happens around the world of entertainment. Around the world, all the other stuff, it's actually going to be kind of important to the way the world rotates. But you can find me all on there. Don't forget to check out all the really cool YouTubers that we have listed in the description below. A lot of really cool movie YouTubers, guys like Night Watch Zone, and all those guys are down there. I'll be adding more people to it here soon. I keep saying I'm going to do that, but now I'm actually going to do it here in the course of next week. But thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. We appreciate you very, very much. And until next time,